Live back here at Biola University. It's a full game of baseball now for you right here on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Welcome back, everybody. Or if you're just joining us, thank you for making us a part of your Saturday afternoon plans, along with Jordan Brenner. My name is Jonathan Rifkind. Delighted to be with you this Saturday afternoon from Biola University. Earlier today, the Oaks finished up a game from June 17th that was called due to darkness. They won 6-4 in 10 innings. Tyler Ryan down 1-2 in the count with Michael Tillman on first base. Hit a go-ahead home run to bring the Oaks up 6-4. Angus Denton thereafter in the bottom of the 10th retired the 3-catch batters he needed to end the ball game. The Oaks took the win. Coming into this game, the Oaks are 13-10 overall, winners of 6 of their last 7, and 8-8 in the CCL. The Catch are 11-12-1 overall. Their CCL record is 7-12 now, a 2-game swing between yesterday's first game and today's second game because the Oaks beat the Catch yesterday 13-4, and then they finished out a game called due to darkness 6-4, giving them a 2-game edge coming into this game. Now they're 2.5 games up on the SoCal Catch for the 4th and final playoff spot, and that could increase or decrease depending on the final results of today's game. Jordan Brenner, as we bring you in here on the broadcast, this Oaks team right now seems unbeatable. They're on a 5-game CCL winning streak. They've won 7 of their last 8 CCL games going back to 2 weeks ago in Healdsburg. One loss in the last week and a half was last Tuesday, not this past Tuesday, but a week before that in a 5-0 shutout by the Ventura County Bucks. Since then, this team has not scored fewer than 6 runs. They've not hit fewer than 8 hits, and they're hitting in double digits almost every game, on top of the fact that the pitching is absolutely stellar right now. What's been going on that has shown this team the light so far, and how do they keep it going into this very important game and then into the doubleheader tomorrow against the Barons?
Well, I think the biggest difference with this team is that everybody's having a good time. Everybody's having fun with this team. A few weeks ago, when this team was scuffling, it kind of felt like a chore for everybody to be at the baseball field, and I think there was a mindset shift up in Healdsburg after losing both games of the doubleheader. The team came back the next day completely focused, and it all started with the starting pitching. Everybody has been so fantastic on the mound. The Oaks have been fortunate enough to get, I think, like 6 of 7 really, really good starts. And on the mound today, Justin Friedman, he was right at the forefront of that. Last time he pitched 7 1/3 really, really good innings, only 1 run given up. And how about this? 7 strikeouts as well. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic to watch him pitch today. And if you get even a remotely quality start from this starting rotation, you're going to feel really good about your chances because the offense has been doing their job as well.
Let's talk about Justin Friedman here a little bit, the starter in today's game, coming in with a 1-1 record. He pitched last Friday in Fullerton, California. You're right, he went 7 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 7 big strikeouts. The 1 run was a home run back in the 3rd inning of that game with 1 out. He was so stellar. That was his quality start coming off of a bad loss against Healdsburg a week before that. He comes into today with new life. He's going to Hope International University, which is an NAIA school in Anaheim by way of the University of San Diego. Before that, he was at Ventura College, and before that, he actually started his college career at George Washington University. We talked to him before the game, and he said, look, right now I feel at my best. And we've seen him play at his best last week. If he can capitalize on what he did against the Riptide in that 5-1 Oaks win, that really spurred this strong offense that we've seen the last week from this team. Then this team is going to continue doing what they've been doing all week long, which is absolutely dismantling opposing offenses, getting on the board early, and staying ahead throughout the entire ball game. Let's give you the starting lineup now. First, for the visiting Conejo Oaks, we'll give you their batting order and the field for the Catch. Then in the bottom of the 1st inning, we'll flip it. We'll give you the Catch batting order and the Conejo Oaks field. For the Conejo Oaks coming in to today's game, 13-10 overall, 8-8 in the CCL. They currently sit in the 4th and final spot of the playoff. Batting first and DHing for the Oaks is Elijah Alexander from the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Brandon Lewis behind him from the University of California, Irvine, playing third base. In the third spot, playing left field from Ole Miss is Chase Cockrell. Jordan McFarland out of Arkansas is the cleanup man for the Oaks over at first base. Sam Shaken occupies his usual position at short in the fifth spot from Valparaiso. Out of the University of the Pacific and playing right field, the man who ended the game earlier today in 10 innings with a 2-run homer, Tyler Ryan, in the sixth spot. In the seventh spot and catching from Utah Valley University, Drew Sims. In the eighth spot for the Oaks and playing second base for Pierce Junior College, but headed to Cal State Bakersfield, Will Picketts. And to round out the Conejo Oaks order, Ventura County High School Player of the Year, headed to CSUN in the fall, Andrew Lucas. He's playing center field. As we mentioned, Justin Friedman will be on the mound for the Oaks on their half of the first inning. But first, there's going to be some defense from the SoCal Cats. They come in today at 11-12-1 overall, headed by Jonathan Munoz in his first full season as head coach of the team, took over for Dan Peters at the end of last season. They come in, as I mentioned, 11-12-1 overall, 7-11 in the CCL. Out in right field is Miguel Abascal, Grant Robbins in center, and Daniel Jung in left. David Martinez at first, Skylar Delos Reyes occupies second, Jake Boone at short, Jacob Rogers at third, Ange Bourgeois behind the dish, and Matt Reitz is going to be the starting pitcher. We saw Reitz back in the win in the first matchup between these two teams back on June the 15th. The Catch ended up winning that game 7-2, and Reitz went 2 strong innings, struck out 2, gave 1 hit and 1 of the 2 runs for the Oaks in that game. Jordan, has Coach Munoz, our umpires, and Coach Solis are out there talking right now. What do the Catch have to do to stifle this Oaks offense? You talk about an Oaks offense that has not hit fewer than 10 runs in all but one of their last 7 games. And by runs, I meant hits. So, what do the Catch have to do defensively and maybe on their own offensive side to really put the pressure on this Oaks offense?
Well, I think they need to take a similar mindset that the Oaks had to, embody earlier in the season. Look back at the game where the Oaks were playing the Santa Barbara Foresters. In that particular game, the Oaks were the heavy underdogs. Even though they were at home, they were playing one of the best summer collegiate teams in the entire country. So during that game, the Oaks embodied that. They took that underdog mentality and they ran with it, and they were able to, mount an enormous comeback. I think the Catch have to feel the same way. They have to feel a little bit disrespected by this Oaks team the past couple days. They were socked in the mouth both today and yesterday. They need to come out fresh, and they need to, do whatever they can to I guess, overtake this Oaks team, because there's not much that they can do wrong right now.
You look at the pitching and batting differential. The Oaks, as a team, after the game that finished up today's stats were inputted, are batting .264, which is really good compared to in the month of June. They were only batting .238. That just shows how this first week of July has gone for the team. Their team ERA is at a stellar 3.57. Any team with under a 4 ERA tends to win the CCL. Now, the only team with under a 4 ERA right now collectively is the Santa Barbara Foresters, and they have a 3.6. So the Oaks currently have the edge in that category in the CCL. On the season, overall for the Catch, you look at their pitching stats. Cumulatively, their team ERA is at 5.68, so almost 6 runs per game. Not phenomenal, and against an Oaks team that's hitting so well right now, they have to find a way to bring that down, at least for the time being. And the team's batting .247, not a bad mark at all. .247 is very good, so they might actually have to rely on their offense here. An offense that was only able to put up 4 runs yesterday, all after the 6th inning. They put up 3 in the 6th and 1 in the 7th against weaker Oak pitchers. They might have to rely on this offense heavily here and make it a high-scoring ballgame if they want to beat the Oaks.
There's no doubt about it. And maybe this Catch team doesn't have the same depth as the Oaks lineup, but there are some really, really good hitters, particularly in the middle of this lineup. Ange Bourgeois gives some of the most quality at-bats I've ever seen. And every time he goes to the plate, he fights till 2 strikes. And beyond that, he puts the ball in play and he gets hits. We all know about Daniel Jung and how he's been haunting the Oaks all year long. He's one of the most dynamic hitters in the entire CCL. this team has players that can put up big numbers, and just because the Oaks are hot, they need to, I don't know, they need to go into this game with a chip on their shoulder and take nothing for granted.
Give you a reiteration of the Oaks batting order here. I gave it before earlier, but as we've had some more viewers join us, we welcome you here on a Saturday afternoon from La Mirada, Biola University. Elijah Alexander will lead things off for the Oaks from the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Brandon Lewis behind him from UC Irvine. And Chase Cockrell from Ole Miss is in the 3 spot. Those are the first 3 batters due up here for the Oaks. In the first full game of the day, but game number 2, that will conclude hereafter. Perhaps maybe more than 9 innings. It took 10 innings, 3 weeks, 23 hours and 46 minutes to conclude the last game of today. And now it's time for a brand new ball game as Elijah Alexander digs in here. The Oaks are in their baby blues with white numbers on the back. Check that, white numbers on the front with white letters outlined by dark blue and dark blue numbers on the back. The first pitch here from Reitz, outside for ball 1. The catch are in their red tops with black letters and numbers on the front and black numbers on the back. The Oaks with gray pants, the catch with white pants. Reitz offers the 1-0 here to Alexander. Popped up, shallow center field. Coming in is Robbins, and he makes the snag. Cookout number 1. First pitch time, by the way, was 4:31. 98 degrees. Overcast skies, and the wind blowing out to left center field.
By the way, Jonathan, when you were mentioning a possible extra inning game today, I just wanted to respond. Let's not put any ideas in these players' heads.
I think they don't want that as much as we don't want that. Brandon Lewis now stepping in. He had a bomb yesterday over the left field fence at Sparky Anderson. Takes that one for a strike at the knees. On the season so far for the UC Irvine Anteater by way of Pierce Junior College. 3rd on the team in batting average. He's batting .323. He leads the team in most categories. He skies that one down the first base line, going foul, and it drops. No, it drops fair. Towed the line, and Lewis is standing on second base with a bloop double. You don't see that very often, but for Brandon Lewis, I don't think we're really surprised anymore. He finds any way to get on base.
The thing about that hit is we both thought it was foul, but Brandon Lewis knew it was going to drop. He was chugging from the outset of that play, and that's why he's on second base.
Runner on second, 1 away here. Chase Cockrell stepping in. .450 batting average, leads the team. He has 4 home runs, which also leads the team. 14 RBIs, which is second on the team behind Mr. Brandon Lewis, who has 16, and standing in scoring position here. The Oaks, runner on second, and Cockrell stepping in. He had an off day yesterday in the Oaks' big win. The first pitch from Reitz is inside for ball 1. In that game where the Oaks won 13-4 yesterday, Cockrell batted in the 3rd spot. And when I say an off day, he still had a 2 RBI double in the first, but overall only went 1 for 4. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the 5th, though. Reitz checks Lewis at second, offers the 1-0. Low and away, 2-0 here from Matt Reitz. For Matt Reitz, on this season so far, this is his 6th game. He has 11 2/3 innings under his belt and an 8.49 ERA. 1-0 though in the record book. 2-0 offering, swing and a miss. 2-1 now to Cockrell. Chase Cockrell was not with the team the last time these two teams matched up at Biola back on June 17th. Neither was Jordan McFarland, the man waiting on deck. Two-one. Diving and making the catch is David Martinez. Underhands it over to first. Back pick over by Reitz is in time. Nice 1-3, or actually 3-1 put out by the first baseman. David Martinez puts Cockrell back to the bench. From second to third goes Lewis. The Oaks have a runner 90 feet away from scoring now, but with 2 outs, and Jordan McFarland digging in. Jordan McFarland, now in his 4th game with the team, joined the Oaks after playing a couple of games in the College World Series with the University of Arkansas, a team that had the World Series in the bag as he takes a strike on the inside corner, but after an errant miscatch by the first baseman in foul territory in game number 2 after Arkansas won the first game, Oregon State came roaring back, won the next 2, and that was history. McFarland only had 1 day off between coming from the College World Series to join the Conejo Oaks, and you spent that time at home. Takes that pitch low but called a strike, 0-2 here to him. So far, 8 at-bats, 8 plate appearances. He has 2 hits, batting .250. Batted .294 as the 6th man, the first guy off the bench for the Omahogs this season. 0-2 pitch, a breaking ball. He fouled it back, and the count remains the same. In his second year with the Oaks, he led the team in strikeouts last year, but batted just over .290. He's a big guy, but he can run. He's very fluid, and when he rounds the base paths, and yesterday he showed that with a stolen base. Reeds, though, trying to keep Lewis stranded at third and give his team a tie ball game on their half of the first, but McFarland fighting off another tough breaking pitch. Bounces off the screen. 0-2 remains the count. A lot of screens here, a lot of nets at Biola University. I call it the bird aviary. It's home of the Eagles, and if you go to a bird aviary at a zoo or a national park, it's all covered in nets to protect the wildlife, and that's exactly what it seems like right here. 0-2 pitch, cracked over to short, and into left field. Coming in and scoring is Lewis. Jordan McFarland knocked in his first run of the season. The Oaks take an early 1-0 lead with 2 outs. The Oaks strike first, 2 hits in the inning, 1 around, 2 outs. And Sam Shaken digging in here.
Talk about a really good 2-strike approach for Jordan McFarland right there. Didn't try to do too much, and he put the ball in play, and that's when good things happen to you.
Fifth spot, Sam Shaken. First pitch, cracked down the left field line, but foul, strike 1. On the season for the Oaks, return out of Valparaiso, batting .280. 12 strikeouts, 4 walks, 11 RBIs, and 6 runs scored. He does have a home run. That was back in the second game of the season a month and a couple of days ago. That's the San Luis Obispo Blues. Reeds, though, so far 1 run has come around under his reign on the mound. Runner on first, 2 away. Toes the rubber and offers the 0-1. Foul tipped back. Shaken now behind in the count, 0-2, but we saw what good that was for McFarland. He was down in the count, 0-2, batted off a couple of tough pitches, then it singled. You can never count these Oaks batters out, no matter how down they are in a count. They've been striking out a lot less, walking a lot more, and hitting a lot more balls in no man's land. Reitz offers the 0-2. Popped up into foul territory. The tandem Martinez and Bourgeois under it. Bourgeois, the catcher, makes the catch. And finally, the top of the first is over. Home half coming after this. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and a runner stranded on first base. The Oaks up 1-0, though the catch will have their offensive side coming up here after this on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the first inning, back here at Biola University. The Oaks and the Cats here, trying to fight for that fourth and final CCL playoff spot. Currently, the Oaks up 1-0. The starting lineup for the SoCal Cats looks as follows. Leading off and playing center field from UNLV, Grant Robbins. Ange Bourgeois behind him, catching from Biola University. In the 3 spot, playing shortstop from Princeton, Jake Boone. Cleaning up for the Catch from Notre Dame, the left fielder, Daniel Jung. Jacob Rogers behind him, playing third base from UNLV. Omar Ortiz is DHing from the University of the Pacific, undecided where he will go in the fall. David Martinez occupies the 7th spot, playing first base from Austin P. Skylar Delos Reyes from UC Riverside is in the 8th spot, playing second base. And to round out the catch order, Miguel Abascal out in right field, playing from Biola University, though he was at USD earlier. Justin Friedman on the mound for the Oaks, deals the first pitch to Grant Robbins for a strike. Friedman now getting his 3rd start with the team. And he was spectacular last Friday against the Riptide. Deals that one at the knees and quickly is ahead of Grant Robbins 0-2. On the season, he's had 3 total appearances, this being his 4th. A 1-1 record, a 4.5 ERA, 11 strikeouts, and only 3 walks. 16 hits, though, in 14 innings. That one skied to left field, back at the wall. Cockrell takes a look at it, and he gets it at the warning track, about 2 feet shy of a home run. Allowed out number 1 here in the bottom of the first inning, retires Grant Robbins. The Oaks field looks as follows. Tyler Ryan in right, Andrew Lucas in center, and Chase Cockrell in left. Jordan McFarland plays first. Will Pickett's over at second, Sam Shaken at short. Brandon Lewis at his usual spot in third base behind the dish. UVU extraordinaire catcher Drew Sims, and on the mound, as I mentioned, Justin Friedman. Ange Bourgeois now stepping in here. Calls Biola University right here in La Mirada, his home. Swings and misses at a fastball, strike 1. On the season for Bourgeois, he's been pretty good. Batting .333. 12 RBIs. He's 3 for 4 in stolen bases. 0-1. Easy pop up the short. Shaken. Digging on the outfield grass. Makes the catch. 2 outs now.
And something to keep notice of early in this ball game, Jonathan, is the sun factor. We've seen 2 quick pop-outs, but Chase Cockrell had trouble with the sun in left field. Luckily, he blocked it out with his glove, made the catch. The same thing happened with Shaken at shortstop. So maybe something we'll see down the line.
2 away, Jake Boone steps in and fouls off that pitch, strike 1. For those who are just joining us, this is the second game of the day, but the first full game. The Oaks ended up winning the game that was resumed from June 17th, 6-4 in 10 innings. Tyler Ryan hit a 2-out, 2-run homer to lock it up for the Oaks. Jake Boone that hits that one high and deep to center field. The Lucas has enough real estate to make the catch and end the inning. 3 come up and 3 go down here on the home half of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Friedman keeps it to 9 pitches, and we're through 1 full. The Oaks up 1-0 right here on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Tyler Ryan leads things off here for the Oaks in the top of the second inning. They have an early 1-0 lead. Ryan locked up the Oaks resummation game earlier as that pitch comes up and in. 1-0 the count to him with a big 2-run homer. His first of the season after really slumping coming into the end of that game. The Oaks were very happy to see that ball leave the ballpark and eventually ended the game. Chops that one over to short on the third hop. Boone fields it over to first for out number 1. First inning was very quick. Unlike yesterday, the Oaks did score 1 run in the top half in today's game, but in yesterday they scored 4 runs in the first inning. It was a 30-minute first inning on the Catch side and the Oaks side combined. One away as Drew Sims steps in. Utah Valley University catcher takes that pitch low and inside for ball 1. Feel free to tweet at us, by the way, at Caneo_Oaks. He's at Jordan Brenner 31. I'm at Johnny Riff. Or chat with us in the YouTube live chat. Friend or foe, we love to hear what viewers have to say. 1-0 pitch fouled off across the plate. 1-1 the count here to Sims. On the season so far, batting a clean .400. One of the holy trio of Oaks catchers so far. Does have a home run. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 3 RBIs, 5 runs scored, but perhaps the best defensive catcher for this team as he takes a ball upstairs, 2-1. Saved a lot of strikes for these pitchers because he frames the ball so well. Reitz has an out up on the board, deals the 2-1 also upstairs, and Sims is ahead in the count 3-1. The long weekend is off to a good start for the Oaks after they won that postponed game. They'll have this full game here today and then a doubleheader tomorrow against the Academy Barons. A strike at the knees brings the count full now to Sims. First game tomorrow is at 11 a.m. The team will return to Thousand Oaks close to 9:45, maybe 10 o'clock tonight, and have to head back to Compton at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. They may be a little fatigued. Sims lines down the third base line. It's called foul, though. Rogers did field it. But nonetheless, full count remains against Drew Sims. His father played a couple years in the Florida Marlins organization. He played for the team actually in spring training, but never got past AAA during the regular season. Credits most of his catching ability to his father. Payoff pitch here from Reitz. Crack down against the plate, and payoff pitch 3.0 pending against Drew Sims. Hope everybody's enjoying their Saturday afternoon. No matter how you're watching or where you're watching, we appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday plans. And the full swing of July, payoff pitch again, big swing and a miss, strike 3 on the fastball. Sims is down on 7 pitches. The first strikeout of the game for Reitz, and out number 2 of the inning here as Will Pickett strides in.
Number 13, Will.
That's not a bad at-bat for the first inning, or for the first few innings. You want to see the pitcher, see what he has to offer. It's not about run production the first time up. It's about understanding what you're going to be seeing the rest of the game.
Pickett stepping in here. He's playing second base in today's game. Takes a strike at the knees. On the season for Will, he's batting .111. Does lead the team with sacrifices, though, with 3. Finds a way to get runs around. Only 8 strikeouts, drawn 8 walks, and he's been hit by 4 pitches. Knows how to manufacture base runners, as that pitch is a strike at the knees. He's, though, behind in the count, 0-2. Wearing the Pierce Junior College colored helmet, black and red. Headed to Cal State Bakersfield, though, in the fall. I wonder how it'll be playing for someone other than his father, who he played for 2 years at Pierce. That one grounded back to the mound, backhanded by Reitz, easily thrown over to first, and this top of the second inning has concluded. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. The Oaks are retired 1-2-3 as Friedman strides back to the mound. He'll face Daniel Jung, Jacob Rogers, and Omar Ortiz. When we come back, Oaks up 1-0 on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Back here in the bottom of the second inning, the Catch in the home half of the second have a 1-0 lead by the Oaks that they have to try to overcome, but Daniel Zhang more than equipped to be able to change things around as Friedman deals the first pitch. Foul back off the screen, 0-1 to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish baseball player. Leads the team in batting average. He's been absolutely stellar over the 340 mark. Had a home run in yesterday's game as well. 0-1 pitch in the dirt, swung and a missed, 0-2 the count. 1 run on 2 hits for the Oaks, no runs, no hits for the Catch. They were retired in order back in the first inning. The Oaks, though, were retired back in the second inning in order. Friedman deals the 0-2. Just missing low, 1-2 now to Zhang. Leads the team in home runs, he has 4. And a home run here could tie up the ball game. Southpaw digs into the left-handed batter's box. Friedman offers the 1-2. Broken bat, all in the foul ball. Absolutely saws him off, and the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. He'll stride back to the dugout for a new bat. But more on Drew Sims behind the plate. We always talk about his ability to frame pitches. That's a big deal, and he talks about how he does it. He brings his glove up into the pitch, and he's definitely saved these Oaks pitchers a lot of balls turned strikes. Jordan Brenner and I will be giving our version of the Oscar Award to the best frame of the season at the end of the season, and so far Drew Sims leads the trio of Oaks catchers in that category, though all 3 of them are spectacular defensively in their own ways. 1-2 pitch to Zhang is high and deep to left field. Though Cockrell has room, he misses it. He looked like he was under it. Instead, Zhang is going to stand on second base on a miscue out and left by Chase Cockrell. That should have been an out. And just like that, the tying runner is in scoring position here for the Catch.
Now batting, third baseman, number 20.
It looked like Cockrell was going to be able to get under that, and they're going to give Zhang a hit. Though I would argue that could be an error. Cockrell did have his glove on the ball and just bounced right off of it. But because he was on the move, I understand why they give Zhang a hit. Runner in scoring position, nobody out, and Jacob Rogers stepping in.
Yeah, Chase Cockrell will tell you that's a play he has to make on an everyday basis. But the sun, I don't know what it was. He just couldn't make the play right there.
Rogers from UNLV digs in here. Freeman gives up his first hit of the ball game. That pitch. Missing, though, for ball 1. On the season for Jacob Rogers, he's batting .295. 11 RBIs, which is good for 3rd on the team. He does have 4 runs scored as well. 1-0 pitch, a strike at the knees, evens the count here. And we talked to Friedman before the game. He seems to get the short end of the stick when it comes to heat. Today, in triple digits at start time. In Healdsburg, his first start with the Oaks was 110. It was a rough start for him. He talked about how he had to change from a curveball to a slider. That one is upstairs, 2-1. Because of how he was throwing the curveball, the ball was slipping out of his hands erratically because of how sweaty his palms were. He had to switch to a slider to be able to compensate. Though so far, it doesn't seem like he's had to make that switch here. He said, though, before the game that if he had to, he would, though it's not his preference. 2-1 pitch, hits the screen, and evens the count.
And you remember, he made that adjustment, but he struggled in that start up in Healdsburg. So clearly, he'll make the change if he needs to, but definitely not preferable because it does take away from his effectiveness.
1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Oaks, no runs, a hit, no errors for the Catch here in the early going. Big game here for both these teams. 2-2. Skied into foul territory, though. McFarland looks like he has room out of first base. He does. Gets under it for big out number 1. Zhang stays at second base. Pop out into foul territory to the first baseman is out number 1 here in the home half of the second. And Omar Ortiz, the returner here for the Catch, batting .318 and leads the team in OPS with a .733 stint, is stepping in. He's transferring from the University of the Pacific, though he's undecided of where he will go in the fall. Still, he is school searching. Takes a ball outside. 1-0 the count. On the mound, Justin Friedman, the man of many talents, not just baseball-wise, but in life, I guess. So he checks the runner at second, toes the rubber from the belt. 1-0 in. Sliced over to third, but foul evens the count. He's actually a motivational speaker outside of the game of baseball. He goes around to high schools and middle schools, and he talks about how he connects with his fellow students, if you will, even though he's a college student, verbally. You know, a lot of people don't like to read, especially in the Generation Z, as that one is sliced to right center field. That drops on the hop, but Jung will have to stay at third base as the throw quickly comes in from Tyler Ryan. Runners at the corners now, only one out. Big hit right there from Omar Ortiz. 2 hits and 1 out in the inning now. Runners at the corners and a tying run at third base. But Freeman was talking about how, you know, Generation Z, which is, you know, 1997 to current present day, and the millennial generation, which was 1996 and prior, how those generations don't like to read as much anymore. And he figured out the best way to connect with them is through verbal communication. And he loves motivational speaking. He loves teaching about, as David Martinez steps in here, shows bump ball gets away from Sims. Coming in and scoring is Young. This ball game is tied. Over to second base on the wild pitch, Ortiz. 1-1 here, runner on second. 1-0 count to Martinez. Mental miscue here for the Oaks. Just like that, the ball game is tied. But going back to Friedman, he's big on going against societal norms. He doesn't believe in the traditional style of if you're wrong in the classroom, you're stupid in real life. He doesn't believe that you have to prove yourself based on what society tells you to do. Is the 1-0 pitch, drops in the dirt, 2-0 the count. And he uses that. He uses that mindset to go out and motivationally speak to high school students about really staying true to yourself. That's what he's focused on. He has a blog. He's actually writing a book right now as the 0-2-0 pitch is swung on a miss, 2-1. He has a blog that he's been writing sporadically. He's a book. He's in the 4th chapter of writing. And when you talk to him, you can kind of get that sense of relaxation, of durability, of the ability to rely on oneself. As a 2-1, line down the right field. That one drops. Rounding third, coming home Ortiz. The throw will be cut off. And a 1 RBI single for David Martinez gives the catch to lead here, 2-1. Back-to-back hits. And just like that, the Oaks find themselves down.
Now batting. Second base.
That was just a great swing over there to bring that, to take a fastball in the outer half and to just push it into right field. Taking what the pitcher gives you right there, that's a really good strategy.
Freeman has given up 2 runs so far in the second. He may need to use some of those motivational tactics to keep himself calm here right now with only 1 out and 2 around, 1 on, and Skylar De Los Reyes taking that ball upstairs, 1-0 the count to him. But definitely look into Mr. Friedman. A great baseball player and a great person. That pitch upstairs gets away from Sims, and on the wild pitch, David Martinez advances to second base. 2 wild pitches in the inning, one that allowed Daniel Jung to score from third, and then one right there to allow Martinez to go from first to second. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the catch. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Oaks. De Los Reyes swinging the orange bat, 2-0 pitch, cut on a miss, strike 1.
It's all about recovering for Friedman. I think his stuff looks pretty sharp today. He's controlling the fastball quite well, and he's throwing it for strikes. He just needs to regain his composure right now.
De Los Reyes batting .333 on the season. Misses on a high fastball, and that evens the count, 2-2. Along with that .333 average and 37 plate appearances and 30 at-bats, there's a 4 runs scored, 3 RBIs, and he's 2 for 3 in stolen bases. David Martinez takes a comfortable lead off of second base as Friedman checks him. 2-2 in. Popped up into shallow infield, second base side. Pickett's under it, makes the catch, out number 2.
And that was a really good sequence right there for Friedman. 2 fastballs in a row, and then he came with the off speed. And De Los Reyes just had no chance to get it.
2 away, 2 around in the inning here in the bottom of the second. The first inning flew by, the second inning going a little bit quicker, or excuse me, a little bit slower because of the 2 runs and 3 hits by the catch in the home half. But Miguel Abascal in the third, or is the ninth batter in the order as he steps in from Biola University by way of the University of San Diego. Batting 126. First pitch upstairs to him. He batted in the cleanup spot yesterday. Struck out 3 times. Ended up going 0 for 4. He walked and had a run scored, but he also grounded out. Calls this field right here his home. Another fastball misses upstairs. 2-0 the count. We've seen a wild pitch low and a wild pitch high on fastballs here from Friedman, Jordan. It looks like he's struggling to find some consistency with the strike zone.
Yeah, a little bit. He started off pounding the zone, but the past 5 minutes or so have been a struggle.
Retired the catch, all 3 in order in the first inning. 2-0 pitch is cracked back against the screen, 2-1 the count. Then he gave up a double to Zhang to lead off the second. Rogers popped out into foul territory for out number 1. Omar Ortiz singled to put runners at the corners. A wild pitch scored Zhang. Martinez then knocked in Ortiz. Martinez took second base on a wild pitch. Thereafter, Skylar De Los Reyes popped out. That's how we've gotten to where we are in the inning so far. 2-1 pitch. Runner goes, but that pitch is fouled back. Evens the count, and Martinez will have to stride back to second base. The Oaks are riding a big 5-game CCL win streak. They haven't lost since a week from this past Tuesday, and that was a non-league game.
This is a big at-bat here for Friedman. Being down 1 run shouldn't worry the Oaks, but beyond that, maybe you get a little bit nervous.
Catch are winners of 2 of their last 5 CCL games, but they've lost 2 in a row as Friedman stepped off right there to check the runner back to second. With 2 away and the lead right now, I doubt the catcher will try to steal third base with Martinez. He has 3 on the season. But maybe a hit and run is in play as Martinez dances off of second base. Friedman eyeing him and offers the 2-2. Missing upstairs and now a full count. Miguel Abascal has done a very good job showing patience, fighting off some pitches, and trying to get that runner home from second base.
And I love what Friedman just did. He stared down Martinez at second base for a good 5 seconds.
Friedman towing the rubber, takes the sign from Sims and steps off once more. Martinez smiling at him. I wonder if Martinez thinks that he may be in Friedman's head a little bit. Towing the rubber from the belt now. Here comes the payoff pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. And Miguel Abascal draws a walk, the first of the game here on either side. Puts runners on first and second. Back to the top of the order we go for Grant Robbins, who's 0 for 1 with a flyout to left field.
Yeah, I think Friedman was paying a little bit too much attention there at second base upon second thought. Martinez clearly getting in his head there.
First pitch, low for ball 1 to Robbins. All 4 balls that were thrown to Miguel Abascal were high. Nothing missed low, nothing missed inside. They were all up at the letters, and they were all fastballs. That's been perhaps the Achilles heel so far for Friedman, is locating that fastball. Another one high, 2-0, and for the 4th straight batter, Friedman is behind in the count as head coach Schleese wants time, and he's going to go talk to his pitcher. Jordan, what do you say to Friedman in this situation?
It's all about taking a deep breath for Friedman and telling him to get his release point down, because clearly he is a little bit early on that, and he's struggling finding the zone because of it. And it's just going to be a quick meeting, Jonathan. Coach Solis telling Friedman what he already knows. Because Friedman, smart guy, as we've talked about, he knows he's missing high every time. He's going to make the necessary adjustments. Coach Solis just wanted to give him a quick breather to get right back into the game with a new mindset.
And he has the luxury of having perhaps one of the best catchers in the CCL, Drew Sims, behind the plate catching for him. So a lot of leadership between the Oaks head coach / pitching coach. He's doing double duty this season. And the catcher behind the plate, though, that 2-0 pitch, a fastball upstairs. 3 fastballs missing high. 3-0 the count now to Grant Robbins. 2 outs, 2 around in the inning, and 2 on. Friedman toes the rubber. 3-0 pitch, a strike right down the middle 3-1 as that ball comes back to him a little bit high, but he was able to corral it with no damage done. On second base, David Martinez, Miguel Abascal at first base. Martinez RBI'd in a run on a single, and Abascal just walked. 3-1 pitch. A fastball lined into foul territory, and from 3-0 to 3-2, Friedman is a payoff pitch away from getting out of this inning with 2 runs around. And if you're the Cats, you'll take that. You lost 13-4 yesterday against the Oaks. A high-octane Oaks offense that's been absolutely unbeatable over the last week and a half. And the best way to do it is to try to stifle them and get on the board early, and that's exactly what the SoCal Cats have done. Friedman steps off. Mild crowd on hand today. A handful of fans pack the stands. It's hot, though, so I don't blame them. Out in the high 90s now. Payoff pitch. Slow popper into the second base side. Pick hits under it for out number 3. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and a pair left on base. Or through 2 full. The Cats lead the Oaks 2-1. The offense that will be led up by Andrew Lucas, Elijah Alexander, and Brandon Lewis due up here in the top of the 3rd after this on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. The Ventura County High School Player of the Year, Andrew Lucas from Camarillo High School, headed to Cal State University Northridge in the fall. Leads things off here for the Oaks in the top of the 3rd inning. They trail 2-1 against the SoCal Cats. And Matt Reed's back on the mound. The first pitch to Lucas, swung on a miss for strike 1. Andrew Lucas batting .279 on the season. Does have 2 triples, which is tied for first on the team with Bryce Vitt. 2 home runs, 11 runs, 9 RBIs. Though 19 strikeouts and only 6 walks. Pitch bounces in the dirt, evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 run, 2 hits for the Oaks, 2 runs, 3 hits for the Cats. No errors on either side. As Reitz toes the rubber, deals the 1-1. Lucas takes it low, 2-1 the count. I think that's been Lucas's Achilles heel, is low fastballs. He swings and misses at a lot of them, but right there, showing the patience, and he's worked his way ahead in the count, 2-1. Reitz offers. Crack down the third base line, but foul evens the count here to Andrew Lucas. His former Camarillo Scorpion teammate, Elijah Alexander, waiting on deck. The Oaks trail in this ballgame, and they have yet to trail since last Saturday, a week ago. 2-2 pitch against the Puff Caps. That one misses upstairs. Check swing. They say he didn't go around. Full count now. The Oaks were down briefly by a run in the 8th inning. 5-4 against the Puff Caps a week ago, and then ended up winning 7-5. Excuse me. That was the last time they were trailing in a game. Just before now. Payoff pitch. Belts the left shoulder of Lucas. He gives a little ouch, but shakes it off and heads over to first base. The Oaks have a leadoff man on, and the tying runner at first base.
Really good at bat from Andrew Lucas, laying off that high fastball when the count was 2-2, and that was big because he really likes to hit those high fastballs. And doing so allowed him to draw the hit by pitch.
Elijah Alexander now digging back in. As the wind really picks up here. It is blistering quick right now, and it's so hot that it just brings around or twirls around the hot air and makes it just that much worse. I feel bad for the outfielders right now in the thick of it. Alexander flew out to center his first time up. Pickoff attempt is just a lob over to first as Lucas is back easily. Lucas is 4 for 5 in stolen base attempts on the season. He's actually second on the team in total bases with 27. Of course, Brandon Lewis leading the team in that category with 51. Reed steals the first pitch to Alexander, low for ball 1. Batted .284 this past season with UTRGV. He also walked off twice. One in the West Coast Conference tournament and one back in December. Reed steals the 1-0. Slapped over to first. It goes off the glove of Martinez into right field. Rounding second and going to third, Andrew Lucas. And just like that, the Oaks have the tying runner 90 feet away from scoring, as well as Elijah Alexander on first base with nobody out. And the big slugging bat of Brandon Lewis stepping in. And they give an infield hit here to Alexander. He's now 1 for 2 on the day.
That could have been ruled an error right there, but it did go off the glove of David Martinez over at first base, but Alexander, hard contact. He'll take the base hit for sure.
Runners at the corners, nobody out, and the slugging duo of Brandon Lewis and Chase Cockrell set to be up here. Lewis, the first of them. Lewis doubled back in the first inning and came around to score the Oaks' lone run on an RBI single by Jordan McFarland. But first, Elijah Alexander is back safely at first base on the attempt pickoff. Can't sleep on Alexander, though, out there. A 5-tool player who can absolutely burn you on the base paths, though he is 4 for 6 in attempts so far this season. Reed steals the first pitch. Runner goes, and it pops out of the glove of Bourgeois. Coming home is Lucas, and this game is tied. A miscue right there. Ties up the ball game. Over at second base, Elijah Alexander, he steals because he took off before the pitch was over the plate. That's his 5th stolen base of the season. And on the wild pitch, Andrew Lucas comes in to score. 2 runs, 3 hits now on both sides. And the Oaks have the go-ahead run in scoring position. Very quiet day here from Biola University, the Bible Institute of Los Angeles. Brandon Lewis digs back in, 1-0 count to him. Reed steals. Foul it off right into the Oaks dugout. Evens the count. The Oaks have an interesting base coaching situation at first base. Is the normal bench coach Joey Garcia, who's only played a first base coach once, and that was back in Healdsburg 2 weeks ago. Dave Solis takes over at third base. Normally the head coach in the dugout. Brian Wilson, the normal Oaks third base coach, cannot join the team today. Max Weinstein, the normal Oaks first base coach, cannot join the team today. 1-1 pitch, grounded down third base, almost hit Coach Solis. He steps out of the way, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and out to the Irvine Slugger. But here at Biola University, they've really made a name for themselves in sports. They were founded in 1956 and were an NAIA team when they began collegiate sports in the 1990s. Lewis digs at a pitch in the dirt, gets away from Bourgeois. He's going to throw it over first for the strike 3 putout. Alexander stays put at second base. Out number 1, no. Strikeout, 2-3 putout. Strikeout number 2 on the game for Reeds. Out number 1 up here in the third inning. But going back to the history of this place, it's very fascinating. In the 80s, they joined collegiate sports. They were part of the NAIA, which is an alternative to the NCAA. A lot of NAIA teams are compared to D2 or D3. NCAA teams normally more in the D3 area, just about a tier lower than D2 schools typically in NCAA. Chase Cockrell digging in, by the way. He's 0 for 1. First pitch, skied to center field. Running back is Robbins at the wall. Towing the warning track makes the catch as Alexander will have plenty of time to tag. Maybe not as much time as we thought from second, third. He almost got off the base, but he was fine. He calls time. 2 outs now, runner on third base.
And Cockrell just missing a home run. That was an easy swing from Chase, and he still got it out to dead center to the warning track, the deepest part of the yard. That is really crazy, and Alexander maybe needed to slide there to make that play a little less nerve-wracking for Oak supporters.
2 outs now, runner on third. 2-2 game, and this past year, Biola just moved from the NAIA after almost 30 years as that pitch bounces in the dirt to Jordan McFarland, who's 1-for-1 with an RBI for ball 1. They moved into the Pac West in Division II after just absolutely obliterating teams in the NAIA for the last decade. Lead teams such as Cal Baptist, Hawaii Pacific. Cal Baptist actually moving up to D1 here soon. But Biola University, get to know the name, they could join D1 by 2026. As another one in the left field is good for McFarland. Another run comes around. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles and a pair of RBIs. The Oaks take a 3-2 lead here in the top of the third.
How about Jordan McFarland making his presence known? We all know how talented he is, and he's gotten off to a little bit of a slow start, but really coming on today with 2 RBI base hits to left field.
And both with 2 outs. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Oaks. No errors. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the SoCal Catch. Jordan McFarland is 1-for-1 in stolen bases. That came by yesterday on the season. Takes a generous lead off at first. The first pitch here to Shaken is a strike over the heart of the plate. Sam Shaken is 0-for-1. Popped out into foul territory to end the first inning. But for right now, Biola University has been vacated by its general population and occupied by the SoCal Catch. They've called this place their home since 2011. 0-1 offering. Bounces in the dirt, gets away from Bourgeois, and McFarland takes second base on the third wild pitch of the inning. Mental mistakes on both sides. The Oaks have scored on a wild pitch, so have the Catch. The Oaks have advanced a runner into scoring position, so have the Catch, by way of wild pitches. A motif on both sides, and the team with the fewest mental mistakes, at least thus far in that game, seems like the team that may pull out towards the latter half. Shaken faces a 1-1 count, digs back in. Reitz checks McFarland at second and toes the rubber. Offers the 1-1. High to left field. Shielding himself from the sun is Young back at the track, and he makes the catch crashing into the wall to end the top of the third inning. The Oaks, though, strike for 2 runs to take the lead on 2 hits, no errors. They strand Jordan McFarland at second base. We're through 2.5 from Biola University. The Oaks up over the Catch 3-2 on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back. Three-two ball game back here in the bottom of the third inning. Justin Friedman facing Ange Bourgeois, his second at-bat of the game. He's 0-for-1. The Oaks took the lead with 2 runs in the third. Currently hold that 1-run lead, which is not safe at all. First pitch to Bourgeois is low. Popped out to short his first time up. The infield playing a little bit further back than normal. Pickett's towards the grass, shaken deep at short. 1-0 pitch, goes through the glove of Friedman over to second. Pickett's fields it over to first in time on the extension by McFarland for out number 1. Good backup right there from Will Pickett's, plays his position very well. And how fortunate is it for the Oaks here, Jordan, to have a tandem of reliable fielders between Sam Shaken and Will Pickett's, or Sam Shaken and Tanner Wright out there in the middle infield.
It's enormous to have that type of defense behind you as a pitcher. It's a confidence booster.
Boone steps in and takes a strike at the knees. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. And you could pair Tanner Wright with Will Pickett's, or you could pair Sam Shaken with Tanner Wright or Will Pickett's, and you'll get the same result, just flawless fielding. 0-1 pitches a curveball, towing the line, but foul, just short of the third base bag. It was fair up until that last moment. Lewis went after it as it went into left field. That would have been good for extra bases, but instead, Boone faces an 0-2 count. It's been a long week for the Oaks, but a very fun week. They had a 12-1 victory win on Tuesday at home against the SoCal Cubs, coming off of a 2-game sweep last week against the Puff Caps. They had a couple games off and then beat the Couch yesterday. 0-2 pitch in the dirt, swung and a missed. It was dropped by Sims as he applies the tag. Strikeout number 1 on the game for Friedman, puts out number 2 up on the board here in the bottom of the third inning.
Nasty, nasty curveball there from Friedman. He'd been struggling getting that pitch down in the zone. He finally executed it to perfection, bounced it with 2 strikes, and a big strikeout there.
Daniel Zhang now stepping in, doubled on a miscue out and left by Chase Cockrell, came around to score the first of the 2 runs in the last inning by the Catch. The first pitch to him is a curveball at the knees for strike 1. Beautiful breaking pitch right there from Friedman. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Catch. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Oaks. No errors on either side. Friedman deals the 0-1. Routine over to short. Pickett's on the hop. Over to first, and this inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Friedman retires the Catch in order to maintain a 3-2 lead for the Oaks. The 4th inning after this on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Hold on.
Back here in the 4th inning for the Oaks, Tyler Ryan brings the Oaks, or steps in with an Oaks lead of 3-2 for play-by-play of the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. My broadcasting partner, Jordan Brenner.
Thank you, Jonathan. Great job today. Tyler Ryan digs in. First pitch to him. Line down the left field line and off the wall for a hit. Ryan around first. Digging for second base. He slides and safe just in before the tag. Tyler Ryan clearly heating up today in what has been his most productive day of the season.
Yeah, he had that go-ahead home run that eventually resulted in the win for the Oaks in the first game that had to be played to completion. And right here, Needs off the fourth inning with a big double. The Oaks trying to extend this lead and be out comfortably. They won 13-4 yesterday. This would be a big deal if they can knock for a couple more here in this inning.
The fifth hit of the ball game. Tyler Ryan is now 1 for 2 today, but 2 for 3 on the day. First pitch to Drew Sims, who struck out his first time up. At the knees, called a strike, 0-1. Sims' strikeout of the second inning came on a full count, in which he grinded. And I commented it wasn't that bad an at-bat for a first time up to the plate on the day. No balls, a strike. Ryan off of second base. The pitch, off speed, swung through, and the count is 0-2 now. Will Pickett's stands on deck. Matt Reed's still the pitcher for the catch, has kept this Oaks team in check as best as he can, but it's hard to stop the Oaks these days. Scoring runs at will. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked behind the plate by Bourgeois. The count is 1-2. Slight breeze towards left field. The Oaks have hit countless, it seems, warning track balls today. None have flown out in this game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch to Sims, he foul tips it and remains alive. 3 runs, 5 hits. No errors yet for the Oaks. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the catch. Oaks started off this ball game with a run in the first, and the catch responded with 2 of their own in the bottom of the second inning. And in the past inning, the Oaks put up 2 runs of their own in the top of the third. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reed's going to take a quick stroll around the mound. And Sims right back in there.
Big pitch here for Reeds. If he can get an out by way of a strikeout and keep Ryan at second base, they may have a shot at limiting the damage through the rest of the inning.
The 1-2 offering. Reed checks the runner, and the pitch is low. Count even at 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ryan off of second base. Reed's a long look, and the pitch hits Sims in the shoulder. He's going to grab his arm and slowly walk over to first base. That can't feel good. Jonathan, we heard that from all the way over here.
Yeah, that was just the sound of skin absolutely being pummeled by a baseball going very fast. Sims still holding that elbow over there at first base as he talks to Joey Garcia, the normal bench coach, playing first base coach today in his second time of the season. But Sims is a tough guy. The last thing you want to do, though, is that was hit on his left elbow. He needs that elbow to be secure because when he's behind the plate catching, he has that elbow in a locked position with his glove set. And if you impede that ability, that could be bad. But right now, he's staying over there at first base. Garcia gives the sign that he's okay. Runners on first and second out for the Oaks. A big opportunity to try to strike for more runs.
That was the second hit by pitch of the day. Pickett's digs in there. And he actually leads the Conejo Oaks in sacrifice bunts with 3 on the year. And this could be a situation where you see one with runners on first and second base and no outs.
This was a bunt for a base hit, so he may go for a bunt for sacrifice, but he'll try to beat it out if he can.
He knows how to lay one down. A third baseman and first baseman not deep. Pretty average distance, and Pickett's does lay down the bunt. He fouls it off. And the count is 0-1. Two on, 1 out. Andrew Lucas on deck. He was the other Oak hit by a pitch today, followed by Elijah Alexander and Brandon Lewis. Weather cooling off here at Biola University. Still got to be upwards of 85 degrees. The 0-1 pitch lays down the bunt. It's a beauty down the line, and Pickett's is going to get a hit on a gorgeous bunt down the third base line. The base is juiced now for Andrew Lucas.
Well, he made me look like a genius right there by beating that one out, but wow, you need bunting lessons try to find Mr. Pickett's phone number because that was the most beautiful bunt, at least for a hit that we've seen this season. He's now 2 for 2 in bunting for base hits, and right now, you load up the bases with nobody out on a bunt base hit for a couple of guys hitting the bat very well right now, and Andrew Lucas and Elijah Alexander, the next two up. The Oaks are in business right now.
And remember, Andrew Lucas, the only Caneo Oak with a grand slam on the season.
That was back in his first at-bat to put the Oaks on the board on June 3rd.
First pitch to Lucas a little bit low, and the count is 1-0.
He also has 2 triples, Jordan, which is tied on the team, so he can get around, and no matter how he puts his ball in play, he can score the runs.
Caneo trying to break this game wide open, build on their winning streak. 1-0. Reitz checks the runner and fires a pitch a little bit low again, and it's 2-0.
Now Reitz pitching around these batters, and you have to show that these batters, or that you're going to be aggressive, because right now the Oaks seem like they're controlling every at-bat. Reitz needs to show that he's still dominant out there on the mound. It's only a 1-run ball game, and you can get out of this jam, but by giving up balls and pitching around batters, it's not going to happen.
Lucas awaits the 2-0 offering. A fastball swung and fouled off the catcher's gear. 2 balls a strike. The Oaks would love to tack on a few here and complete the sweep on the series against this Southern California Catch team. The first game today doesn't count in this series, but the Oaks also won that one. 2-1. Inside corner called a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
With that being said, though, Jordan, if the Oaks do win today, they will have won the season series 3-1. They play 4 total games against the Catch, and right now they're up 2-1 in the season series.
That's right. Big pitch coming. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded. Reitz checks the runner at second and offers off speed. Lifted high and deep, but way foul.
That was the grand slam swing. And do you remember, Jordan, the last home run that Andrew Lucas hit?
I do.
He hit one very foul right before, and then he went yard on the very next pitch.
Up in San Luis Obispo, he did that.
So you got to wonder, well, does he have that same exact mindset right here?
Could be. Tyler Ryan at third. Drew Sims at second. Will Pickett's at first. Matt Reitz peers in for his sign from Bourgeois. And steps off for a second. Gonna redo his motion. His rituals. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch swung on a miss. A fastball thrown right by Lucas. And he knew he missed one. That was a good pitch to hit.
Yeah, just way out in front, was looking for that fastball. Instead, he got a breaking pitch and swung under it.
So now 1 out. That's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Matt Reitz, and it's going to be up to Elijah Alexander and Brandon Lewis. Elijah Alexander 1 for 2 today. He flew out to center field in the first inning, hit a base hit down the right field line his last time up, stole a base, and also came around to score. Alexander on the season still hitting above 300. He's added 2 home runs and 10 RBIs. And now a meeting on the mound.
Yeah, Coach Munoz looks like he's going to pull Reitz with the bases loaded.
An interesting decision. But we're going to get Reitz's final line for you, the new pitcher, when we come back. Bases loaded, 1 out, 3-2 Oaks. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Oaks Baseball on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Matt Rietz's day is done. He goes 3 1/3 innings. He gives up 6 hits, 3 runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. He also hit 2 Conejo Oaks. He will be charged for any runs that score that are on base, whether it's Pickett's, Drew Sims, or Tyler Ryan. The new pitcher is Zach Philos. Philos has been pretty good this year, 10 innings pitched. Well, actually, he struggled, I should say it a different way. 6.30 ERA, 5 strikeouts. Attends Corbin University in Salem, Oregon. They're just about ready to get going. Elijah Alexander digs in, 1 for 2 today. And this could be a defining inning of this baseball game. Conejo with a prime opportunity to tack on some runs right now. Philos on the hill, ready to go. The corners playing shallow in the infield. The outfield in no doubles defense. Playing deep. First pitch to Alexander. Line down the right field line. Down for a hit. Tyler Ryan scores. Drew Sims is going to be held at third base. And only 1 RBI on the base hit to right field for Elijah Alexander.
He'll take though. How about on the first pitch from Zach Philos? Just belts that one down the line. And you talked about no doubles. They were actually shifted to the left. Out there and right, Abascal was out of position in his normal spot in a big outfield here. And that allowed Elijah Alexander to pull one and get an RBI and keep the bases loaded.
So now it's Brandon Lewis's turn with the bases loaded. The Oaks take a 4-2 lead here, and they want to do some more. Zach Philos sets at the belt. Peers in for a sign and offers. In the dirt, good block by Bourgeois behind the plate, preventing Drew Sims from scoring on a wild pitch.
Great block. That could have been trouble.
Philos was thrown in a tough situation, tasked with trying to get out some Oaks hitters that really have refused to go down recently. 1-0. A little bit low, 2-0. The inning started with a Tyler Ryan booming double off the left field wall. A hit by pitch and a bunt base hit loaded the bases. Andrew Lucas struck out, and Elijah Alexander boarded in the first run of the frame with a base hit to right field. 2-1 pitch, hard shot into left field, a base hit. Drew Sims scores. Pickett's held at third. And the Oaks going station to station, and they add their second run of the inning and their 5th of the ball game. 5-2 Conejo.
The biggest difference between the July Oaks team and the June Oaks team is their ability to string together hits. We saw a lot of hits in June, but they were coming with 2 outs, and it would only happen sporadically. Right here, though, finding ways to string together hits and continue to force the issue. Already 8 hits here through the first 4 innings.
Brandon Lewis adds on to his team leading RBI total, now at 17 on the season. Chase Cockrell, the new hitter. First pitch, Chase swings and misses. It's 0-1. Cockrell in 2 at-bats today. He's 0 for 2, a fly out to deep center field, even though it didn't look like he hit it too hard. And a ground out in the first inning. Cockrell leads Conejo with 4 home runs. He leads us, the Oaks, in on-base percentage, slugging percentage, on-base plus slugging, and batting average. Next pitch, a big swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes from Philos to Cockrell. Jordan McFarland on deck. He has 2 singles to left field, both brought home runners, adding his first and second RBIs as a Conejo Oak this season. 0-2. Pickett's at third, Alexander second, Lewis at first. Philos sets at the belt, a raise of the knee in the fire. Fouled back off the screen, and still 0-2.
You know what's funny about Jordan McFarland and Chase Cockrell is that they're actually rivals, Ole Miss and Arkansas, during the collegiate season, but here Jordan McFarland praising his teammate for fighting off a pitch. It's kind of funny to hear the dynamic difference when they come and play together on the Oaks versus when they're rivals in the SE.
Both guys, powerful hitters at the plate, dynamic ball players. The 0-2 pitch. Cockrell lined into left field, another base hit. This is going to go all the way to the wall. Pickett scores. Alexander around third, he'll score. Here comes Brandon Lewis, and a 3-run RBI double for Chase Cockrell makes this an 8-2 ball game.
I'm not exactly sure what's going on right now, Jordan. This is pretty incredible. The string of 4 hits now. Wow. Just when you think this team has reached their peak, they continue to impress us, and that's not easy because both of us have been paying close attention to what's been going on, and right now they're finding new ways to make us say wow and shake our heads in disbelief.
Chase Cockrell coming through in the clutch. Clears the bases. And still only 1 out in the inning. Jordan McFarland now takes a first pitch strike down the middle. 5 runs in the frame. 8 runs on 9 hits in the game. And the line is moving. Sam Shakin is on deck. And Tyler Ryan, who led off this inning, is in the hole. Again, still only 1 out in the inning. 0-1 pitch. McFarland lifts one into shallow right center field. The center fielder, Robbins, comes in, makes the catch. And Cockrell will not tag. He'll stay at second base. And that's the 2nd out of the inning.
It's a big out.
Sorry, Jonathan.
Oh, no. Absolutely no problem. You know,
Now batting,
it's interesting because
number 25,
the Catch had momentum. They took a lead 2-1, and all of a sudden, not only did the Oaks erase that lead here in the 4th, they built on it. And they took all the momentum that the Catch had and absolutely tossed it away like it was nothing.
Tyler Ryan has ended 2 innings today in the on-base circle. An interesting fact. First pitch to Shakin, low, 1-0.
You're always full of interesting facts, Jordan.
McFarland was just retired for the first time today. He had base hits in his first 2 plate appearances. Shakin is 0 for 2, a pop out and a fly out. And 1 ball, no strikes. Cockrell off of second. Philos checks the runner and offers. Lifted high and out of play. Off the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Catch could compete for only so long against this hot Oaks ball club. It was close until the start, or until this inning. It was actually 3-2 in favor of the Conejo Oaks, and they just put up a 5 spot, and they're not done yet. 1 ball, 1 strike to Shakin. A kick of the pitch, and it's low and away. 2-1. Sam Shakin, 280 on the year, no home runs. Though he hit one hard today, that almost went out.
He does have a home run.
Oh, he does have that 1 home run
Indeed.
in the first ball game of the year off the bench. The one to right center field. Now I remember. 2-1 fouled back, and the count is 2-2. Sorry, I didn't mean to sell him short.
Oh, no, don't apologize to me. I hate correcting you, Jordan, because you're normally right. Sometimes. But, you know, got to give credit where credit is due, and Shakin has just been so consistent for this Oaks team and quietly has built a very strong season offensively.
2s across the board. 2-2, 2 outs. Man on second. Philo sets at the belt. And the offering swung on and missed. Shakin strikes out to end the frame. But the Oaks were terrific this inning. They finish with 5 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and a runner left aboard. 8-2 Conejo. They keep on rolling. We'll be back for the bottom of the 4th after this. You're watching Oaks Baseball on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Back for the bottom of the fourth inning. Jacob Rogers trying to start comeback for the SoCal Catch. Michael Tillman comes in to play center field for Andrew Lucas. Also, Matt Reitz ends his day with 7 earned runs of the 8 that the Oaks have scored. Philos is only charged with 1 of those runs. Justin Friedman's first pitch lined into right center field and down for a hit. He rounds first, chugging for second base. It's all the way to the wall. Tillman throws back into the infield, but not before a stand-up double for Jacob Rogers.
And for the Catch, a 5-run deficit. Absolutely not out of the question. They can come back. They have the offense to do it, and right there, just keep on chugging. Friedman's susceptible to giving up hits, though he has been very good so far overall, I think. But for the Catch, just stay resilient, stay intuitive, and play the game of baseball, and you can make up this deficit. And it's actually a 6-run deficit. I said 5. That was my mistake.
It's all right, Jonathan. Rogers off of second. Omar Ortiz, the new hitter, takes a fastball in for a strike 0-1. Ortiz hit a base hit in the second, came around to score. Friedman has not been his sharpest today, but he has grinded throughout the game, trying to give some quality innings to this Oaks ball club. 0-1 fouled back, now 0-2.
And remember what Kevin Holcomb said yesterday in our Oaks post-game interview. He was the winning pitcher, and we asked him how great is it or how good is it as a pitcher to come out there with your team up on the board well ahead of the opposition. And he said that builds so much confidence. It's almost impossible to be upset. And even though Friedman's given up 2 runs and briefly trailed, right now he has a 6-run lead to play with.
0-2 swung on and missed. He strikes him out. Friedman's second strikeout of the ball game.
Now batting, first baseman, number 33.
The new hitter,
David
Martinez. Also hit a base hit in his only plate appearance today. It was to right field. And from the Catch perspective, they have to feel like they can come back from anything because they saw this Oaks team come back from the middle of the forest, in the middle of nowhere, the last time they faced off here at Biola University.
And the Oaks capped that game earlier today, and what's been a continual momentum shift for the Oaks in the CCL, currently playing the best baseball. They're averaging the most points, or most runs, I should say. Not most points, but most runs. They're averaging the most hits through the last 2 weeks of any CCL team.
Rogers off second. First pitch, low and away, 1-0 to David Martinez. David is hitting .236 this year. Takes a strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. Friedman checks the runner at second. Checks him now for a 3rd time, and here's the 1-1 pitch, lined foul. First base coach, a defensive maneuver, trying to save his own life. Ducks out of the way just in time.
That was speared right over him. Martinez very late on that one, fouled off the top of the barrel. And when you're a first base coach, you have to be very careful as he points at him and says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." But you have to be on your toes. Being a base coach is not for the wary. Got to be awake at all times.
Oh, yeah. 1-2 pitch. Cut on and missed. Friedman strikes out another, his 3rd of the ball game. And the throw behind the plate from Drew Sims over to McFarland completes the strikeout and the 2nd out of the inning. And Jonathan, I would argue that playing first base coach is probably more dangerous than playing the field. And that's because you don't have a glove to protect yourself.
Yeah, I think that's the reason. Look, if you have a glove, then you're going to feel more like a fielder. But that's not your job as a coach out there. Your job is to coach these runners on base. So I would agree with you. I think at times it's more dangerous, but not all the time.
Skylar Delos Reyes takes a first pitch ball. It's 1-0. The 8-hole hitter 0 for 1 today with a pop out to second base. Rogers led off the inning with a double to right field. Since then, nothing. A bunt down the left side. Friedman picks it up, bare hands over to first, and off the bag, says the first base umpire. McFarland tried to reach and stay on the bag, but De Los Reyes too fast. And now runners at the corners with 2 outs. That should be ruled a hit.
Indeed it is. And for right reasons, that was a beautiful bump by De Los Reyes. He absolutely sprinting like a NASCAR going around the track.
Oh, yeah.
From home to first, and just like that, runners at the corners, though 2 outs, the Cats have to capitalize. Otherwise, the Oaks will continue to have all the momentum.
Rogers moves over to third base on the play. Miguel Abascal is the new hitter. He's 0 for 0, but he walked in the second inning. First pitch from Friedman. Fired and into left field, a base hit. Over the leaping glove of Shaken. And the Cats get one back, and the score is now 8-3.
So rough play right there from Friedman. He threw a fastball at the knees, which has been effective for him for most of the day, but right there, it was picked on by Abascal, and just like that, we almost have a ball game again.
Well, that's a little bit of a stretch, but
almost have a ball game.
We can agree to disagree on the terminology, but on the road to a ball game, perhaps. First pitch, fouled off out of play to the right side, 0-1 to Grant Robbins.
I don't think 5-run deficit with 5 innings to play is too unattainable.
I agree, but the word you used was almost.
You disagree with my usage of that word?
Absolutely.
And why is that?
Because almost means very close. 0-1 into right field. Will it drop? No. Tyler Ryan makes the catch to end the inning. A run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. The Oaks still hang on to an 8-3 lead through 4 full innings. To the top of the 5th we go. You're watching Oaks Baseball on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Top of the 5th inning.
We're in for the top of the 5th inning. Tyler Ryan leading off this inning just like he did last frame. And the Oaks hoping for a similar frame. 5 runs in the 4th inning. And now the first pitch from Philo, swung on and into left field. Another hit all the way to the wall. Ryan around first. He's now at second base. And just like he did last inning, he leads off with a double to left field.
I don't really have much of an analysis, sorry, Jordan. I know you're about to say something. Other than, I guess it's kind of expected now for these Oaks to hit. Whatever the bug is that has allowed these Oaks batters to hit, it has consistently been a nuisance to opposing teams, and today is no different. Wow.
Stay hot, Tyler Ryan. Wow. Drew Sims, the new hitter. Runner on second base, nobody out. Sims is 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch. A run scored and a strikeout. First pitch low. 1 ball, no strikes. Tyler Ryan had been scuffling quite a bit all year long. And I don't know, maybe he slept on a different side of the bed, but today he showed up to the ballpark, smashing the baseball, seeing it very, very big. 1 ball, no strikes to Sims at the chest, but called a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Will Pickett's on deck. Followed by Michael Tillman, who came into the game for Andrew Lucas to play the field in the bottom half of the last inning. Next pitch outside, 2 balls, a strike. And as the weather warmed up, Jonathan, it seemed like this Oaks team just went with it.
They talked about yesterday how they like playing in heat because it keeps them loose in the ball carriers, and that's been indicative of their play.
2-1 off the plate, 3 balls, a strike.
To be able to utilize hot weather or cold weather to your advantage is a skill that few teams have, and this Oaks team, they came back in a 50-degree ball game here the last time on June 17th to tie it up and finish that game out in the hottest game at 110 earlier today. Right here doing the same.
To right field, no. Grabbed by the first baseman, Martinez. He taps first base for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that was a very hard hit ball to first base. But it allowed Tyler Ryan to advance over to third, and that gives the Oaks another assurance run. So nonetheless, a productive out.
1 out now. Tyler Ryan at third base. Will Pickett's is the new hitter. Pickett's 1 for 2, a bump base hit last inning, and a ground out. Back in the second. First pitch high, 1-0. Pickett's digs back in there, taps the plate 1 time. Moves the bat around, now rests it on his shoulder. Philos gets his sign and offers. Down into left field, a base hit. Tyler Ryan trots on home, and the Oaks extend their lead to 9-3 on Pickett's second single of the day.
His first multi-hit ball game. How about a couple of players who have been quiet, and Tyler Ryan and Will Pickett's both doing their part to extend this lead for the Oaks. It's been a joy to watch both of these guys who have been struggling to this point in the season, really being the bulk of the offense so far.
Everybody swinging the bat well. It's contagious. Michael Tillman takes a strike, the first pitch he's seen today, and the count is 0-1. Elijah Alexander on deck. 1 out in the inning. 0-1 is the count. Philos sets at the belt and offers. A little bit outside, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. 9-3 Conejo. Philos at the belt, a raise of the knee, and the pitch is high. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, for Philos, he's missing, but he's missing in the right spot when he throws balls. He's not missing low, he's not missing high, which could be errant for wild pitches, which is what we have seen a lot today. He's missing outside. You don't want to pitch around these batters, but if you do, pitch outside.
Next pitch, another ball. The count is 3-1. And just like how the CCL is having their All-Star game in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, the Major League Baseball All-Star game will take place in Washington soon. The 3-1 pitch from Philos, swung on and missed. The count is full.
Are they inviting the entire Conejo Oaks team to participate?
Well, they should. But here's where I'm going with this. There was actually, on this date in history, an All-Star game played in Washington, D.C., in which Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the president. But Tillman takes his walk and heads over to first base. Pickett's advances to second base. On the base on balls. Lou Gehrig,
Designated
on this
hitter,
date, July
number
7th
19.
in 1937, led the AL All-Star team to an 8-3 win. He homered, he doubled, and he had 4 RBIs. On an eventful day, also Dizzy Dean, one of baseball's greats, fractured his toe in that game on a line drive. Alexander, ground ball fielded by Philos, thrown. The runner at second is safe, but Alexander will be out on the relay back to first. So a 1-6-3. I wasn't sure if it was the second baseman covering or not.
23.
Anyway, 2 outs in the inning and 2 runners in scoring position now for Brandon Lewis.
You know what's interesting about that stat that you were talking about, Jordan, is how different the All-Star game is now. You never see injuries. You never see guys really trying very hard because the incentive isn't there anymore.
That's true. First pitch to Lewis called a strike.
I mean, you are talking about a game that was 92 years ago.
Yeah.
In 1936. It's just amazing how America's pastime still remains America's pastime, but how dynamic the game has changed in the last 92 years.
Yeah, the game has become a little bit mundane, but still not as bad, I would argue, as other major sporting all-star games.
Cough, cough, football.
Cough, cough, football, indeed. Also basketball.
144 to 140, the final score. You don't like that?
Yeah, you see more points in the first half than you do all season for a team like the Brooklyn Nets or the Sacramento Kings.
It's not saying too much.
1 ball, 1 strike. 2 on. Lewis swings a fly ball into center field. Grant Robbins shades the sun and makes the grab to end the inning. The Oaks, though, get 1 run on 2 hits, and they leave a runner left on base. No errors as well. We're through 4.5 here from Biola University. The Oaks tack on another. The score is now 9-3. Friedman back on the hill for his 5th inning of work. We'll get that for you when we come back here on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Justin Friedman regains the hill for his 5th inning of work. He has grinded all today. He's been a little bit frustrated on the mound, but he has certainly done a good enough job. Oaks hanging on to a 6-run lead. Friedman's first pitch, and they are called a strike. 0-1. The hitter is Ange Bourgeois. Bourgeois 0 for 2 today, a flyout and a groundout. 0-1, a little bit high, 1 ball, 1 strike. And the umpire cutting down on pitches in between innings, trying to get this ball game to move along a little bit quicker. 1-1, a big swing and miss on the fastball thrown right by Bourgeois.
And this is the same umpiring crew as yesterday in the blistering heat. The Oaks ended up playing 3 hours and 20 minutes. That was a long game.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Friedman peers in for his sign from Drew Sims. From the belt, he kicks and fires. Line drive into left field. Cockrell comes in, but he can't get to it. And a base hit from Bourgeois And the catch lead off the inning with a base hit.
That was a great pitch by Friedman, but an even greater hit by Bourgeois. A curveball at the knees. That would have been low, but Bourgeois actually dug down and golf swung that one. I wouldn't necessarily say that Cockrell gave his best effort out there. He could have probably caught that if he dug deep, but nonetheless, great bat.
Next pitch lined into left field again, another base hit. 2 batters, 2 base hits, and the catch in business here, 2 on with nobody out. And going back to your Cockrell point on the base hit from Bourgeois, sure Cockrell could have got that if he was playing in Major League Baseball or the College World Series, but not trying to risk any injuries here in a 9-3 ball game on the back end of a doubleheader. Well, not quite a doubleheader, but a long day of baseball for sure. 2 on, nobody out.
Especially with a true doubleheader tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Daniel Jung, the new hitter. Jung takes a pitch, gets by Sims, and both runners advance on the pass ball. Sims going to go talk to Friedman real quick. Maybe apologize for that last play.
That's uncharacteristic of Drew Sims. We rarely see pass balls on his part.
Daniel Jung 1 for 2 today, a double actually to left field, and a 4-3 ground out. 1-0. 2 on, nobody out. Friedman gets his sign from Sims, kicks and offers. Off speed, stays outside, 2-0. Daniel Jung from La Mirada High School. Now plays at Notre Dame. The 2-0 pitch. Off speed, catches the corner. 2 balls, 1 strike.
The Fighting Irish have a heck of a player.
They certainly do. In his senior year, actually, let me rephrase that after this pitch. 2-1. Friedman from the belt, a deep breath, and here's the offering. Call the strike again, 2-2. His career stats from La Mirada High School, he hit .331 in high school with a .439 on-base percentage and 96 career games played. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Curveball lifted high and deep to right center field. But Tillman makes the play. 1 run will score. And a sacrifice fly, a long one, gets the catch within 5 runs here. The score is 9-4. On the play, Bourgeois scores, and Boone moves over to third base.
Third baseman, number 20.
And Zhang, the most consistent hitter on this team. A couple feet short of a home run, but it didn't matter. He found a way to muster a run across the plate, and the catch. Need to find ways to manufacture runs. 9-4, still a steep deficit, though. Once again, here in the 5th inning, it is manageable, but with the Oaks offense going the way it's going, it's still tough.
First pitch, called a strike. 0-1 now to Jacob Rogers, who's 1 for 2 with a double and a pop out. One run on 2 hits so far in the inning. 0-1 from Friedman. In the dirt, blocked by Sims, and the count even at 1.
Okay, up.
One and one. Boone on third base. Here's the pitch. Fly ball out to left center field, pretty deep, but shouldn't be a problem for Tillman, who makes the play. With a few steps to the track to go, but a sac fly, Boone comes in to score, and the game is now 9-5.
And you know what? If you're the catch, you'll take it. Got 2 base runners on with nobody out, and even though there are 2 outs up on the board, you were able to bring them both home. That's a productive inning if it ends right here. They're going to try to extend it, obviously, but can't be too upset about that.
Friedman trying to get through this inning. The new hitter, Omar Ortiz, 1 for 2, a run scored and a strikeout. From the stretch, the pitch high, 1-0. Friedman trying to empty the tank. Kevin Holcomb with a great start yesterday. Preserve the bullpen for today. 1-0 pitch. Fly ball inside the infield. Will Pickett looks to be under it and makes the grab to end the inning. A sigh of relief from Friedman, who just got through 5 full innings. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. A runner left aboard. Oaks on top, 9-5. And we're on to the 6th inning. You're watching Oaks Baseball on Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Number 35.
Chase Cockrell leads
Chase
off against the new
Cockrell.
pitcher, Declan Kearney. Currently attends Azusa Pacific University, his first offering. The Cockrell called a strike at the knees, it's 0-1. He previously attended the University of Oregon. Final line for Zach Philos, 1 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, a walk and no strikeouts. Next pitch swung on and missed, 0-2. Cockrell was 0 for 2 going into the 4th inning. He changed that quickly with a 3 RBI base clearing double to left field. 0-2 fell back to the screen, and the count remains as such.
Yeah, and this guy has solidified himself, at least for the time being, as the best offensive product in the CCL. He is just so incredible to watch.
No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, low, 1-2. In the dirt. For Declan Kearney, he's gone 19 2/3, and he's pitched that to a 3.20 ERA. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cockrell fouls another one back to the screen, and we'll do it again. In those 19 2/3, Kearney has struck out, believe it or not, 29 batters. Wow. 0-2, rip and a miss. Cockrell down on strikes. First strikeout of the day for Kearney.
Give him number 30 now on the season.
Now back.
Wow.
In 20 innings, that is
37.
some serious production right there.
McFarland.
Getting some quality innings, Kearney is, against one of the CCL's most productive offenses. Good practice, as Jordan McFarland is the new hitter. He's 2 for 3, 2 RBI base hits, a flyout. The first pitch off the plate, 1-0. McFarland had been quiet up until today. He came to the Oaks last week. 1-0, big swing and a miss, count even at 1. Played in the College World Series for the University of Arkansas. Spent a day at home and joined the Oaks. We're happy to have him. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the pitch. High, 2-1. Sam shaking on deck, Tyler Ryan in the hole. And it's going to be hard to decide who we interview post-game on the Oaks post-game show.
We'll hold off on that conversation, though. There's still some baseball left to play.
Well, I'd say Tyler Ryan's a pretty good candidate right now. 2-1, a big swing and a miss. Count even at 2 now.
How about Sam shaking on deck? The only Oak to have yet to reach base so far in this game.
He has hit the ball hard, though. Shaken had that fly out to the warning track in left field in the 3rd inning. 2-2 pitch. High again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And man, can Kearney throw the gas. He clearly is somewhere in the 90s. No radar gun here at Azusa Pacific, or excuse me, at Biola University. 3-2. Fastball high. And McFarland couldn't catch up. 2 straight strikeouts to start off this inning for Declan Kearney. The 5th of the day for Caneo.
Now batting, shortstop.
And that's how you do it.
25,
2 straight balls that McFarland took were fastballs high, and then I think he figured that he would see a low fastball and swung right through that. Great series of pitches from Mr. Kearney up on the mound.
We'll see if Sam Shaken can catch up to this flamethrower. Fastball thrown right by Shake. It's 0-1. Shaken 0 for 3, a pop out. And as we mentioned, the deep fly out to left field, and he struck out swinging in the 4th inning. Batting average hovering around 280. He's been very consistent all year. 0-1 to Shake, a little bit below the knees, 1-1. Sun beginning to set here at Biola University, located in La Mirada, California. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Shaken. This time off speed and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Next pitch, away, 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, today a good day for baseball. It was pretty hot at the beginning in the opening stages of this ball game, but it's cooled down pretty nicely out there.
Fouled back to the screen, 3 balls, 2 strikes. La Mirada was actually once part of the Los Nietos Diseño. But though inheritance of the original, but the inheritance, of the original territory was broken up into other smaller pieces. 3-2, swing and a miss. Declan Kearney comes out of the pen, strikes out the side. And we're through 5.5 innings. There will be a new pitcher for Caneo when we come back. 9-5, Oaks on top here on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Martinez.
We are back in for the bottom of the 6th inning. Justin Friedman's day is over. He did not have his best stuff, but he got through 5, and that's all Coach Solis needed from him today. 5 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, a walk and 3 strikeouts. The new pitcher for the Oaks, number 21, Jonathan Lavallee. Lavallee, a fastball slider changeup combination. We'll get you his numbers in just a moment, but first, David Martinez is the new hitter. Martinez 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Ground ball over to Shaken. Backhand, he bobbles it. And Martinez will be on first base. That should be an error on Shake.
And an atypical error at that. Shaken normally the most reliable infielder for the Oaks, though, right there, just mishandled that one in the deep part of the shortstop position. And you know what? Another leadoff runner on here for the Catch. Only 4 runs to make up to tie this game. It's very doable now.
Jonathan Lavallee has gone 8 2/3 so far this year. A 2.08 ERA. A whip at 1.38. He struck out 9 batters. Runner on first base. First pitch from Lavallee thrown right by Skyler De Los Reyes, and the count is 0-1. De Los Reyes 1 for 2. A base hit and a pop out. He reached base on a bunt base hit his last time up. Next pitch catches the corner, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Lavallee peers in for a sign from Drew Sims. They finally agree, a deep breath, and here's the pitch. A big rip and a miss, a slide. Oh, he fouled it off.
It looked like to me that he missed, and De Los Reyes also thought he missed. He just started walking back to the dugout. I'm not exactly sure what the conversation has to be, because if the batter thinks he struck out, wouldn't you think that he's a strikeout?
And Coach Solis is going to go trot out and have a conversation with the home plate umpire. The home plate umpire had no idea it was coming. Coach Solis had to walk up right behind him before he noticed him.
Yeah, but there was no contact made, so I think that was a warranted conversation by the head coach.
So De Los Reyes staying alive. 0-2, a runner on first base. That's David Martinez. Lavallee gets his sign, kicks and offers. Fouled back out of play. Count still 0-2.
Now that one was a textbook foul ball. But overall, you know what? If you're the Catch, extend this game as long as possible. Go right at these Oaks pitchers. They're going right at you. And find a way to manufacture some runs.
0-2. A long pause, the pitch. Fouled back again. And 0-2 again. And Coach Solis' argument looking a little bit, I don't know, smarter, more warranted now, as Lavallee struggles to put away De Los Reyes.
I would waste the pitch here. Keep it high, keep it a fastball, and maybe he swings and misses. If not, you still have 3 pitches to work with.
Next pitch just a bit inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Oaks exploded in the 4th inning for 5 runs. In the 3rd, they put on 2. Both of those innings contributing to their 9-run outburst so far today. 1-2 from Lavallee. Here's the pitch. Did he go? No, he did not. Count even at 2. Not even an appeal over to first base there.
No, there was no conversation. De Los Reyes definitely held back, but that was a quick pitch right there from Lavallee, perhaps the quickest of the ball game. There is no gun here, but you can tell just from the naked eye the difference in velocity of these pitches, and that one was very fast.
Here's the 2-2. Lined into center field. Pickett's made a good effort to get to that ball, but it goes past him into center field. Retrieved by Tillman. Now 2 on. Nobody out for Miguel Abascal.
And that's where the mistake by the umpire missing that strike 3 call hurts you, because, or if you're the Oaks, that is. If you're the Catch, you're very happy. Who cares? But if you're the Oaks, there has to be a conversation after this inning, because the tide could turn here already if Daniel Zhang, who is more, if Miguel Abascal, who's more than equipped to get on base and score a couple of runners, does indeed do that, the Oaks will find themselves with less of a comfortable lead.
Abascal takes the first pitch ball, and the count is 1-0. Miguel has struggled this season. 159 average, 260 on base percentage. He does have a home run and a triple, as well as 5 RBIs, though. 1 ball, no strikes. Lavallee checks the runner at second base. Now pitches. Off speed in there for a strike. Count even at 1. 9 runs, 11 hits, an error for the Canelos. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the SoCal Catch. Hour approaching 6:30. Next pitch outside, and the count is 2-1. 1 middle away from the 2-hour mark of this ball game. It's been moving on pretty well, and it has become gradually more comfortable as the sun has set and the temperatures have dropped. 2-1, off speed, fouled back, off of Drew Sims, and he is in a lot of pain. He's grabbing, I think, his left arm, and here comes Coach Solis. This is the second time, I should add, that Drew Sims has been banged up today. He endured a hit by pitch in the 4th inning as well.
But this is on the opposite arm. He's actually gripping his right wrist. He was hit by a pitch on the left arm. But he is in a lot of pain, and for a guy who's consistently behind the plate, getting dirty, putting his body in front of balls, he's very, very tough. This team does not lack any sort of toughness, especially the catcher behind the plate, Mr. Drew Sims, and you know that he has to be in some serious pain if he's reacting like that. With that being said, when you get hit by a baseball, especially off a bat, and you get hit in a part of your body that can sustain maybe just a big bruise, it's mostly just in the moment as you see him shake it off where it really hurts. After that, the sting starts to wear off gradually, and if you can find a way to forget about it after the first couple of minutes, as it looks like Drew Sims has a couple of smiles with our home plate umpire, then you'll be A-OK, and Mr. Sims right there doing just that as he takes a couple of warm-up throws.
Yeah, we're glad he's okay. He has been roughed up today, and just like you said, Jonathan, this team does not lack toughness. Lavallee seems ready to go, and I don't know what's going on. A quick conversation between Will Pickett's at second base. Perhaps he's just checking on his fellow teammate.
They're playing some Disneyland Main Street music here. I felt like I was strolling on through that Disney theme park. That's pretty uncommon at baseball stadiums around the CCL. I kind of like the change of pace.
That's true. Well, we've seen our fair share of magic today, Jonathan. So I'm glad you're in a magical frame of mind.
Perhaps right now this is the happiest place on earth.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on. Miguel Abascal is the hitter. Here's the pitch. Fouled back to the screen. We'll do it again. And I would agree with you. This is as good as it gets. Happiest, most magical place on earth, especially with how this offense is going for Conejo.
This team seems to bring the magic of Disney wherever they go with how the offense musters up runs.
2-2, a little bit low and away, and the count is full. We want to say thank you to all our viewers watching us, wherever you may be tuning in from. It's always a pleasure to have you along on the ride with us. Wouldn't be possible what we do without your support. Here's the full count pitch. Fastball thrown right by him. Strike 3. Lavallee's first K of the ball game, the 4th on the side of the Oaks pitching staff. And a big first out there to Abascal as Grant Robbins comes in with 1 out and 2 on.
Curveball, fastball, curveball, or slider, excuse me, not curveball. Those are all sliders. 2 sliders, an off-speeder, meaning a changeup, and then a fastball. Switching up pitches and keeping the offense off balance is what Lavallee has been doing, and it's been successful, at least on that last at-bat.
First pitch from Lavallee, a slider down in the dirt and away, and the count is 1-0 to Robbins. He's 0 for 3 today. Shaken, Lewis left side, Pickett's McFarland to right side. We'll get you the outfield in a second. And there's a strike. The count even at 1 now. Chase Cockrell in left field. Michael Tillman, who replaced Andrew Lucas, out in center field. And Tyler Ryan, who's been having a big day, out in right. Drew Sims still behind the plate despite the wear and tear he's endured. And he blocks one there. A slider in the dirt. The count is now 2-1. Their runners on first and second base. David Martinez, who reached on an error from the shortstop, shaken. He's on second base now, and Skylar Delos Reyes on first base. He hit a base hit up the middle after fighting through a long at-bat where he was down 0-2 for what seemed like 3 or 4 minutes. 2 balls, a strike. Here's the pitch from Lavallee, a rip and a miss. Count even at 2 now. A good fastball located on the outside corner. No chance for Robbins to get to that one, Jonathan.
None at all. Fastball laid low in the zone, a little bit away, and for a guy who's been swinging at high fastballs, tried to adjust, but couldn't read that pitch, swung right over it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Lavallee checks Martinez at second base. Here's the pitch, off speed. A big swing and a miss. Another strikeout out of the pen for Lavallee, his second of the ball game. And the Oaks now 1 out away from getting through this inning despite the trouble that they got themselves into.
That was beautiful. 2 fastballs and an off-speed pitch. You want to keep the opposition off balance. You change up speeds, you change up pitches. Lavallee, who we've only seen in limited action, he's a temp player here with the Oaks from L.A. Pierce Junior College, has been very successful, though, with that sub-2.3 ERA, keeping batters off balance, and that's been the repertoire that he brings to this team out of the pen.
Ange Bourgeois swings at the first pitch. Fly ball into shallow left field, and it drops for a hit. Bourgeois into second base. A runner will score. That's Martinez, who scored from second base. Sorry for the delay on the call, folks. I couldn't really see what was going on from the corner over here. But nonetheless, a run tacked on, and the Cats are within 3 runs now, 9-6.
Remember, that run is unearned because David Martinez reached by way of the error by Sam Shaken. But nonetheless, if you're Ange Bourgeois, you mimicked what Elijah Alexander did, or excuse me, Brandon Lewis did earlier with a bloop hit into shallow outfield, turned into a double. Well done.
Jake Boone, the new hitter, he's 1 for 3, a run scored. First pitch called a strike, it's 0-1. Daniel Jung, the powerful lefty, is on deck. Next pitch, fastball, a zipping one. Toes the outside corner, it's 0-2. 2 hits so far in the inning, an error and a run. 0-2. Lifted inside the infield, McFarland and Pickett's converging. Pickett's makes the grab to end the threat. The Oaks give up a run on 2 hits, an error, and 2 runners left aboard. We're through 6 full innings to catch within 3 runs now. A 9-6 ball game. We're back for the 7th inning. When we come back, you're watching Oaks Baseball on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Back in for the 7th frame and for play-by-play, here's Jonathan Rifkin.
Thanks, Jordan. Great job as always, as quickly Tyler Ryan swings and misses on a pitch by Declan Kearney for strike one, but because we had to quickly turn over the broadcast, I didn't have time to give my usual praise to you, Mr. Jordan Brenner, but it was a pleasure providing color for your wonderful play-by-play for the middle 3 innings, as the 0-1 pitch runs low to Tyler Ryan. Evens the count 1-1. On the day for Ryan, he has 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, and a ground out. He's 2 for 3. He does have a home run in the early game. It's Declan Kearney digs in here and offers the one. Actually, no. He steps off. He was in the middle of his formation, but Tyler Ryan called time. 1-1 offering now is in. A strike at the knees puts Ryan behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Jonathan, I didn't give my praise to you either, and I appreciate your compliment as always.
Always a pleasure, Jordan. Always a pleasure. 1-2 the count here to the University of the Pacific Tiger. Kearney deals. Missing outside, evens the count. How about this? Only 1 less hit for the catch, but 3 less runs. 9 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the catch. 2-2, sliced and amidst in the dirt. Great catch by Bourgeois. And just like that, Kearney picks up the 7th where he left off the 6th with a strikeout. He now has 4 consecutive punch-outs. And the Oaks are struggling against the former Oregon Duck turned Azusa Pacific pitcher. Striking out so far 7 times in this ball game.
How about 4 consecutive strikeouts?
Drew Sims takes a pitch inside. 1-0 as it bounces over the glove of Bourgeois. Miguel Abascal, Grant Robbins, and Daniel Zhang from right to left in the outfield. I'll give you the infield here in just a moment. 1-0 offering here from Kearney. Sims takes it low, and that evens the count. 2-0. Alvin Martinez at first, Skylar Dela Reyes at second. Jake Boone at short, Jacob Rogers at third, and Ange Bourgeois behind the dish. Declan Kearney is the 3rd pitcher of the day for the catch as he deals a fastball upstairs. And Sims has worked the count. He's ahead 3 balls and no strikes. Feel free to tweet at us at Caneo_Oaks. He's at Jordan Brenner 31. I'm at Johnny Riff on Twitter. Or talk to us in the YouTube live chat. Friend or foe, it's always a pleasure to interact with our viewers. Clan offers the 3-0, a strike over the heart of the plate. Puts a strike up on the board now, 3-1. Well, the Oaks are doing their annual Amateur Baseball Development Group raffle. 3-1 pitch, a strike at the knees, full count out of Sims. Of course, the Oaks, owned by Mike Stosha and the ABDG organization. The raffle takes place on July 24th. Payoff pitch here. Sims pops it up in the shallow right field, though that might drop for a single. Basco making a run for it, and he can't get it. They're going to call it fair as Sims will try for 2. That throw is way in time, and he is out. Trying to stretch a single into a double. I wouldn't necessarily say on that 9-6 punch out that Drew Sims is the most equipped batter to leg out a bloop hit like that. But you know what? You have to commend the effort.
Yeah, you love when guys try to take the extra base. It's been a long day, and the Oaks still trying as hard as ever.
Will Pickett stepping back in now. He's had a very productive day for the Oaks in the 8th spot. 2 for 3, an RBI, a pair of singles as he swings and misses on that one. Going back to this Oaks raffle, the Oaks are raffling off a Mike Trout autographed bat, a Mike Trout autographed baseball, an Albert Pujols autographed baseball, a Mike Scioscia autographed baseball, Caneo Oaks merchandise, and 2 $25 Visa gift cards. That pitch bounces in the dirt to even the count 1-1. It's $5 per ticket and $20 for 5. You don't need to be present. If you want to purchase a raffle ticket, email us at info@oaksbaseball.com with your name and how many you want to purchase, and we will set up a way for you to pay. Swing and a miss right there from Pickett's. 1-2 to the count. Once again, July 24th is the raffle. The opportunity to win a Mike Trout autographed bat, Mike Trout autographed baseball, Albert Pujols autographed baseball, Mike Scioscia autographed baseball, Caneo Oaks merchandise, and 2 $25 Visa gift cards. $5 per ticket, $20 for 5. 1-2 pitch, foul tipped right into the glove of Bourgeois. Strike 3. 5 punch-outs on the game. For DeClain Curry ends the top frame of the 7th. It's time to stretch. 9-6 the score. Get up and stretch as we will hit the final 3 innings of play after this on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Leading off the
Bottom of the 7th. I hope you enjoyed the stretch. Hope you're enjoying the game no matter how you're watching or where you're watching. Jordan and I appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday evening now plans. Daniel Jung leads things off in the cleanup spot for the catch on the day. 1 for 2. Run scored, a double of sacrifice fly, and a ground out. Jonathan Lavallee back on the mound, deals the first pitch to the Notre Dame lefty for a strike at the knees. Lavallee has been stellar. 2 hits, 2 strikeouts in an inning of work. 9-6 still the score. The 0-1 drops low, evens the count here. The Oaks struck first in this ball game with a run in the top of the first. No runs in the bottom of the first for the catch. Then they scored 2 in the bottom of the second to take a 2-1 lead, though the Oaks quickly responded with 2 runs in the third and 5 in the fourth. 1-1, fouled away. 1-2 the count now. Lavallee out ahead. The Oaks were up big. It was 8-3 going into the bottom of the fourth. The catch scored 1 run in the fourth, 2 runs in the fifth to the Oaks, 1-1 in the sixth to make it 9-6. 1-2, 2-hopper over to first. McFarland lobs over to Lavallee, and he outraces Jung to the bag for out number 1 on the 3-1 putout.
Now batting, first baseman, number 2.
One away now is Jacob Rogers. UNLV Rebel digs in here. He plays alongside Oaks catcher, though not in today's game, Zach Kamenko. Rogers on the day also 1 for 2, a double, a run scored, a pop out over to third, and a sacrifice fly to center back in the fifth that scored the second run of that fifth inning. Takes a pitch in the dirt for ball 1. The Oaks now in the latter part of the beginning of a long weekend. After finishing up that game earlier in 10 innings, winning 6-4, they're up 9-6 here, and then they have a doubleheader tomorrow. Rogers skies that one to right field. Tyler Ryan under it easily. Makes the catch, out number 2 up on the board now. And that doubleheader wasn't originally supposed to happen. Back on June 15th, the Oaks were supposed to host Academy Barons in a 1-game home series, but that game had to be rescheduled due to some logistical issues with the Conejo Oaks coaching staff. And the Barons so graciously accepted and rescheduled it to a doubleheader tomorrow starting at 11. We'll be live 10:45 for the pregame show, 11 o'clock for the first pitch. The second game tentatively is at 1 or 30 minutes after the first game ends. Omar Ortiz fouls off the first pitch he sees in this at-bat for strike one. 1 for 3 for him, a single, a strikeout, and a ground out. Does have a run scored as well.
And Jonathan Lavallee has been doing his job, coming into the game, and he's just throwing strikes, letting his defense play right behind him.
0-1 pitch, bounces in the dirt, and away, evens the count.
And that's what you want out of your relievers. Just to come in and do your job. Not more, not less.
9 runs, 11 hits, and an error for the Oaks. 8 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for the Catch. 1-1. Slapped and hits off of Lavallee's glove. Ricochets over to third. Lewis won't have a play on it. And Lavallee may have actually caught him on the thigh. It looked like he was able to get the glove out in front as quickly head coach Solis runs out there to talk to him. That'll be a single for Omar Ortiz. And also Oaks bench coach and also first base coach in today's game, Joey Garcia, going to come out.
And that does not feel good. Lavallee's still trying to shake it off.
Oaks have been on the wrong end of some of these baseballs today. Drew Sims twice has been hit, once as a batter, once as a catcher, both times shaken up. This time Lavallee caught all of that one. I guess it was on his thigh. It may have caught part of his glove as he looks like he's okay out there, so he's smiling with our home plate umpire. And Lavallee takes a couple of warm-up pitches, and I think that he'll be A-okay. Oaks, especially with 2 big games tomorrow, want to remedy the amount of arms they use in today's game to keep everybody fresh and ready to go tomorrow. And with how the offense has been playing, they've had the ability to really only pitch a few pitchers each game over the last week and a half, and it's really allowed for some of these relief pitchers to get a lot of rest and stay effective out of the pen. Lavallee is okay. Meeting breaks, and we're back to baseball.
Now batting, first baseman, number 33, David Martinez.
David Martinez now stepping in after the scorching line drive off the thigh of Lavallee, allowing him to reach first on the infield single. That ties up the hit column now for the Catch with the Oaks at 11. The only difference now the scoreboard. First pitch upstairs to Martinez. 1 for 3 today. An RBI single back in the second, a strikeout in the fourth, and reached first base in the sixth by way of an error. That run was unearned, however, because Shaken did allow Martinez to reach, but he skies that one down the left field line, going and fair, good for extra bases. Rounding third and being held up, though, is Omar Ortiz, sliding in safely to second. Martinez, runners in scoring position, 2 outs now. And just like that, the tying run coming to the plate in the form of Skylar Delos Reyes, who's 2 for 3 today, a pair of singles and a pop-out to his day. And if he can continue and find a way to get on base, a 3-run ball game, which used to be 6 runs, could very quickly be erased.
And Coach Silly is going to trot and talk to Lavallee. I don't know if he's coming out of the game, but either way, this is a critical at-bat. The Oaks started off the game very hot. They jumped out to a big lead, and the Catch have just been crawling their way back. And we're going to see Nick Ringcover coming out of the bullpen.
From one Pierce Junior College pitcher to the other, though, the difference is southpaw. Nick Ringcover will take over for Lavallee. We'll give you Lavallee's final line, Nick Ringcover's stats, and the rest of this 7th inning when we come back. 2 on, 2 away in a 3-1 ball game. Don't go anywhere. Back here from the Bible Institute of Los Angeles, or deemed Biola University, 2 hours southeast of Thousand Oaks, California, where the Conejo Oaks call their home. New pitcher Nick Greencover comes in place of Jonathan Lavallee. 1 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run. It was unearned, no walks and 2 strikeouts to his day. Though with 2 runners on in scoring position, if Skylar Delos Reyes can find a way to knock around a couple, those runs will be earned to Lavallee. But Nick Greencover on the mound would do his best to remedy the damage.
And Greencover has been so good ever since that outing in San Luis Obispo.
Deals the first pitch. Reyes shows bunt, but pulls it back. That pitch is outside, 1-0. 2.08. Greencover shows his ERA with 13 innings pitched, a .92 whip. He is 0-1. This is his 9th appearance. He does have 16 strikeouts and only 5 walks. Only 3 earned runs in those 13 innings. 1-0 pitch, though, is sliced down the right field to Tyler Ryan. Right under it, and just like that, the 7th inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and a pair stranded in scoring position. To the 8th inning we go. A 3-run ball game. Oaks up over the Catch, 9-6. You're watching Oaks Baseball on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Don't go anywhere. Michael Tillman, who came in for Andrew Lucas in the field a couple of innings ago, will lead things off here for the Oaks half of the 8th inning. They're up 9-6, and a new pitcher on the mound, Anthony Mayorga, takes the place of Declan Kearney. Both go to Azusa Pacific. Kearney was incredible in the 2 innings he pitched, as the first pitch to Tillman is a low for ball 1. 2 innings, only 1 hit, and 5 strikeouts. He struck out all but 1 batter in Drew Sims, who tried extending a single into a double and was thrown out. 1-0 offering. Popped up into center field. A couple steps to his left is Grant Robbins, and he's under it for out number 1. Tillman, before that at-bat, batting just under the Mendoza line at 196.
Now batting.
Now that'll drop a little bit. And on the season,
Designated hitter
for Anthony Mayorga, we have seen him once already. This is his 12th appearance in 15 innings. 6.8 ERA and a 2 whip. 1.88 strikeout to walk ratio. First pitch, Elijah Alexander glides in there for strike 1. Alexander on the day, 2 for 4, a pair of singles, a pair of runs, an RBI, a fly out, and a ground out. 0-1 pitch goes low and gets away from Bourgeois, evens the count. Elijah Alexander, once again doing what he does best, manufacturing base hits, manufacturing runs, and a 5-tool player who does just about everything. 1-1 pitch, up and in, 2-1. Yesterday he had the catch of the season in the outfield, at least thus far. We talked to Kevin Holcomb, who was the pitcher during that time, and we asked him, did you think Alexander would get there? He said, no chance. Pitch outside, 3-1 now to Elijah. And Elijah, with a Superman-like jump, was able to secure that ball and make the out in yesterday's ball game. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Payoff pitch now here pending on a 3-2 count. But you talk about perhaps the most multifaceted player on this team. He hits for power, he hits for contact. He's fast. He sees the field well, both defensively and offensively. He runs his routes really well out there in center. What a great player to have. 3-2 pitch taken, called strike 3 at the knees. He knew it. The umpire was emphatic about it. And Mayorga gets his first strikeout of the ball game. And quick out number 2 up on the board here in the top of the 8th inning.
Nothing you can do about that one. That's a nasty pitch. Just so hard to hit that one.
Beautiful. Both teams have been scoreless for the last few innings. The last team to strike was the Catch back in the 6th. The Oaks haven't scored since the 5th. First pitch now to Brandon Lewis is a pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Lewis is also 2 for 4. A single, a double, a pair of runs, an RBI, a strikeout, and a flyout. Every batter in the Oaks order, with the exception of Sam Shaken, has found a way to get on base. That pitch misses, 2-0 here to Lewis. And Brandon Lewis, originally committed to Cal State University Northridge last season, decommitted halfway through the Oaks summer season. Went back to Pierce Junior College. He takes a strike up the knees, 2-1. But the Oaks have had an issue with decommitting to CSUN. Jacob Sylvester, Joey DeSigli, 2 Oaks pitchers last season, played at CSUN and then transferred. 2-1 pitch goes down the line and evens the count, foul, 2-2. As the sun begins to set behind us, the shadows grow longer. The temperature drops now into the mid-80s. It's up at 98 for the first pitch of this game, and at 108 earlier at 3:30 when the Oaks played out that game that was postponed due to the darkness. 2-2 pitch bounces in the dirt off the helmet of Bourgeois. Full count now here to Lewis. Nine runs, 11 hits, and an error for the Oaks. 6 runs, 12 hits, and an error for the Catch. They both have left 6 runners on base. Only 2 walks drawn by the Oaks, 1 walk drawn by the Catch. The Oaks have just found a way to get runners around base. They have hit for more extra base hits than the Catch have, and that's been the difference in the ballgame. So after a meeting from Bourgeois with his pitcher Anthony Mayorga, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. They're trying to retire Brandon Lewis and end the top of the 8th to give their offense another opportunity to make up the 3-run deficit. Mayorga offers the payoff pitch. Cracked down the third base line, but just goes foul. And Brandon Lewis kissing his bat right there. We'll have to do it again. I'm not exactly sure why he did that, but maybe saying thank you, bat, for giving me one more opportunity to hit a ball in this count.
Hard to not thank Brandon Lewis's bat. It's been doing a lot of good work recently.
Batting up in the 320s. Payoff pitch 2.0. Taken low for ball 4. And you thank this bat for keeping him alive because now he's on base by way of a walk. Only the second drawn walk by the Oaks all game. The first given up by Mayorga. And now with 1 on and 2 away, Chase Cockrell steps in. He's had a quiet day, 1 for 4, but a bases clearing 3 RBI double back in the 4th inning to go along with a strikeout, a flyout, and a ground out. He's gone out basically any way a hitter can. The first pitch to him bounces in the dirt. A great block by Bourgeois, though, 1-0 the count. Perhaps the only way he hasn't gotten out is by way of a hitter's interference. But strikeout, flyout, ground out, the conventional 3 ways to get a base runner or a hitter out, and the catch have gone Cockrell out all three of those ways. Strike at the knees evens the count. Brandon Lewis is 6 for 9 on the season in stolen bases. Takes a comfortable lead off of first. They are holding him with 2 outs. We'll see if he goes. 1-1 offering. This is low as well. Bourgeois tried to frame it, though, a little late. Home plate umpire didn't bite. Cockrell works ahead, 2-1.
And Cockrell, quiet day at the office for him. Only 1 hit today.
But 3 big RBIs, and that actually proves to be the difference in the ball game right now.
Well, you're right about that, Jonathan. It was a big hit. But for Cockrell standards, still a quiet day at the office.
Indeed, but if the Oaks pull this one out by 3 runs, that Cockrell hit would have absolutely made the difference in the ball game. 2-1 count. Lewis still on first base. The pitch from Mayorga bounces in the dirt. Another block from Bourgeois. He has been active behind home plate today. 3-1 now to Chase Cockrell. Hope everybody's enjoying their Saturday evening. A lot of Oaks baseball starting yesterday, a 13-4 win. Played out that game called due to darkness and won 6-4 earlier today, and now up 9-6 in the latter half of this game. 3-1 pitch, a strike at the knees, full count now to Cockrell. Tomorrow a doubleheader at 11 and tentatively 1 o'clock depending on when the first game ends out in Compton against the Academy Barons. Monday the Oaks have a day off. Tuesday they host the Santa Barbara Foresters at 4:30. Wednesday they host the Arroyo Seco Saints at 4:30. A few days off, and then they play the Riptide in a home and home. 3-2. Spear down the line, but very foul and out of play. Once again, Chase Cockrell will face a 3-2 count. The second 3-2 count we've seen consecutively now. 2 away. Brandon Lewis, who's on first base, was the other catalyst of a 3-2 count. Worked his way to a walk. Margo comes set. Pearson fires the payoff pitch. Runner goes, sliced on and fouled back. And once again, for a 3rd straight time, Chase Cockrell will step into the batter's box with a 3-2 count. Jordan McFarland waiting on deck. Should we get that far in this top half of the 8th? They're not holding Lewis anymore. No reason to, because he'll be off and running on every pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 3rd time. Mayorga from the belt. Pearson fires the 3-2. Runner goes upstairs, ball 4. And the Oaks' patience, the Oaks' fight once again pays off. They've been walked 2 consecutive times now after flying out and striking out to begin the 8th. Lewis at second, Cockrell at first. They've been walked 3 times now in the game, 2 times in the inning. And Jordan McFarland, who's 2 for 4 with a pair of doubles and a pair of singles, steps in.
What an at-bat from Cockrell, who's going to be pinch run for by Michael Spears. To just continue to fight, foul off tough pitches, and he never gives away at-bats.
Spears replaces his old Miss teammate over at first base. A little bit more speed out there now. The first pitch to McFarland bounces a foot in front of the plate off the protective gear of Bourgeois for ball 1. Spears will take over on left field for Cockrell at the turn of the 8th. But for now, he's standing on first base. 9-6 the score. It's been a very quiet 7th and 8th inning. Mayorga trying to find a way to keep the Oaks from scoring any runs and giving his team an opportunity with a 3-run deficit to come back. Deals a strike at the knees to even the count here to McFarland. Mayorga takes a quick pause and checks Lewis. 1-1 in. Crack down to 3rd. Beautiful field by Rogers over to 2nd. And that will end the 8th for the Oaks. They strike for no runs on no hits, no errors. They are walked twice, and they strand both those runners, Lewis and Cockrell, who turned Spears for a pinch runner on base. We're through 7.5. The Oaks up 9-6. This game is far from over, folks. The Catch will do everything in their power to work their way back after this on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Miguel Abascal leads things off here for the catch in the bottom of the 8th inning. Nick Ringcover back out there. Pitch to one batter in the 7th as they're coming in place of Jonathan Lavallee and force Delos Reyes to fly out to right. Michael Spears takes over for Chase Cockrell left. That's the only fielding change for the Oaks. The first pitch to Abascal is sky to center field. Tillman under it easily, out number 1 on 1 pitch. The Oaks up 9-6. It is not a safe lead by any means, but it is still somewhat comfortable. And with the bulk of the bullpen pitching very well, I think it's safe to say that the Cats still have a little bit of work to do if they want to get back in this game. Grant Robbins stepping in, takes a pitch low for ball 1. Back to the top of the order. He's 0 for 4. 3 flyouts and a strikeout. Ringcover quickly dealing the 1-0. Broken bat, one hopper to Shaken at short, fires it over to first. McFarland fields it, out number 2. That bat shattered completely in half.
And you know what's so interesting about Nick Ringcover? You know, early in the season, everybody... Well, first, let me say this. Nick Ringcover is pitching some big, big innings for the Oaks, and Coach Solis trusts him in high-leverage spots. And going into the year, a lot of people thought it was just going to be, you know, John Vergara as the shutdown lefty, but Ringcover has emerged, and he is a weapon out of the bullpen for the Oaks.
New batter in now. Ange Bourgeois in the second spot. 2 quick outs here. Ringcover going right at these batters, and now we have a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Bourgeois on the day is 2 for 4. Single, double, and RBI. Ground out and a pop-out to his day. First pitch from the lefty to the lefty is a strike. Sims mishandled it, but the umpire caught it nonetheless, 0-1.
And the shadows creeping up on the field, making it very tough for hitters to see the baseball. It starts in the sun, it goes through the shadows, and then it ends up in the sun at the plate.
Nick Ringcover, one of a handful of Pierce Junior College players on this Oaks team. We've seen 2 in this game so far. Him being the second one, Lavallee being the first one. Michael Tillman, who's in center, was at Pierce as that one is skied. Into foul territory, Lewis makes the catch for out number 3. Michael Tillman was the third, but he's going to Cal State LA in the fall. But we're going to have to leave it there. Nick Ringcover pitches a perfect 1-2-3 frame to end the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. The Oaks maintain a 9-6 lead. Going into the 9th inning, they'll try to capitalize and make it unreachable for the catch. All of that on the other side of this break on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Sam Shakin, the lone Oaks batter to not reach base today, steps in trying to change his fortunes. He's 0 for 4. And right here, the Oaks up 9-6 in the top of the 9th. First pitch from Mayor goes upstairs for ball 1. He'll try to stifle this Oaks offense one more time, an Oaks offense that hasn't scored since the 5th inning. Give his offense one more opportunity. That is Mayorga's offense, one more opportunity in the bottom half of the 9th. Try and tie up this ball game. 1-0 pitch, way up and away. 2-0 the count here to Shakin. Mayorga in his second inning of work quickly deals the 2-0. Slapped over to third, into the diving glove of Rogers. He gets up, fires it over to first. And he is safe as that ball gets away from Martinez as well. Over to second on the error goes Shakin. We'll see if they rule it an infield hit and then an advancement on the error, which I think they should. It was definitely an error on the third baseman, Rogers. But Shakin, I think, would have beaten that out regardless, even though that was a phenomenal play. Nonetheless, though, the Oaks have a runner in scoring position. Sam Shakin now reaches base, and the Oaks, all 9 batters that they've put forth in the lineup, have found a way to reach base. That is quite a stat. Hit and an error on the board for Shakin. Tyler Ryan shows bunt. Gets it down, but it fouled back for strike 1. And how about this? Bailey Holbrook will bat in the place of Drew Sims. He's on deck. 9 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. 6 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors now for the Catch. Shakin standing on second base. Tyler Ryan on the day. 2 for 4, 2 doubles, 2 runs, a strikeout, and a ground out. Mayorga steps off. I think Shakin may have shook him up a little bit right there. He was dancing on the second base path. I don't think Jordan was that amused with my pun right there, but we've made Shakin jokes as Tyler Ryan gets absolutely sawed off on that one, up and in, but he showed bunt and he didn't pull it back, so that's strike 2. Looks like Mayorga was aiming for his head right there on the bunt attempt.
I don't know about that.
And Solis is going to talk to the home plate umpire. I don't think he's happy. I'm not exactly sure why. And actually, Tyler Ryan's hurt.
I think Tyler Ryan thought he was hit on the play. He's showing him a ball marker on his wrist.
It was called a strike, though. They said it may have been foul. And actually, no, Tyler Ryan's going to be awarded first base. So you're absolutely right. Tyler Ryan finds a way to get on first base. The third hit batter for the Oaks today. And it looks like Tanner Wright is actually going to come in. Head coach Lee's told Holbrook to take a seat on the bench. And Tanner Wright is going to come in to pinch hit here in place of Drew Sims.
There's some delay now as the head coach Munoz for the Catch having a conversation with the home plate umpire.
And we've seen this happen time and time again. Players have proven whether or not they've been hit to our home plate umpire, as now there's going to be a conversation on the mound with Mayorga and the entire infield. In fact, his game may be over, but Munoz gets an explanation from the home plate umpire, and then he strides back. And no, I don't think there will be a change as conversation takes place with the entire infield on the mound. But the Oaks have Tyler Ryan on first base, Sam Shakin on second base. Nobody out in the inning. If they can tack on one more run and end this ball, or not end this ball game, but give them some insurance to try and end this ball game in the bottom frame of the 9th, then I think that they'll be sitting more comfortably, and Tanner Wright is the guy to do it. Batting .333 on the season. He's only struck out 5 times in 65 plate appearances. You talk about the most reliable contact hitter on this team. Tanner Ryan is that guy.
Yeah, and Tanner Wright has been so hot recently. Yesterday he had another big day. Almost got on base every time he came up. But he hits the ball every time he goes up to the plate, it seems. He never strikes out, only 3 on the season. And he always seems to find outfield grass no matter what he does.
And Jordan, you and I talked about Tanner Wright had some big shoes to fill, with Max Weinstein being the normal second baseman for this Oaks team for the last 2 years. Both Cal Lutheran teammates, and Wright has lived up to that expectation. He doesn't have the same power as Max Weinstein does, but his fielding ability is right there. His ability to find holes in the field is right there. He's fast, he's effective, and what a guy for this Oaks team to have, a pickup. One of the lone Division III players on this team, and the Oaks have found some diamonds in the rough. Division III, not often very successful representation-wise in the CCL. The Oaks have 2 phenomenal Division III players, and Eric Ma, a pitcher from Whitman College, and Tanner Wright, the batter from Cal Lutheran, on the roster. But the meeting finally breaks, and we're back to baseball. Wright steps in. Sims ends his day 1 for 3. He was hit by a pitch. Singled, was out those trying to stretch it to a double. Grounded and a strikeout. Mayorga toes the rubber here. 2 on, nobody away. The first pitch bunted down. It's popped up and caught by Mayorga. All runners quickly hurry back to their respective bases at second and first. Out number 1 up now on the board on the failed bunt attempt by Tanner Wright.
Right idea from Coach Solis. The execution wasn't there this time. So now it'll be up to Picketts and Tillman to drive in these runners.
Number 13, Will Picketts.
1 away, 2 on. Now a double play could get the catch out of the top half of the 9th and give the offense that, as the 3, 4, and 5 batters due up, an opportunity to come back in this ball game. More than capable, middle of the order. But first, Will Pickett steps in. Ball bounces over the head of Bourgeois, and all runners will advance on the wild pitch. Shaken to third. Tyler Ryan to second. And the Oaks now have 2 runners in scoring position, and that eliminates the double play threat, which is really the last thing the catch needed right now.
But a door opening for Will Picketts, trying to drive some more runners in.
He's already 2 for 4 today with 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. His first multi-hit ball game of the season. And if he can hit 1 more, he may be our Oaks player of the game if the Oaks can hold out in this game. Skies that one down the left field line. Very hard and very high, but very foul as well. Evens the count 1-1.
I think Will Picketts leads the team in foul ball home runs. He always seems to crush them just a little bit left of the third baseline.
His Pierce JC teammate, Michael Tillman, who's headed to Cal State LA in the fall, warming up in the on-deck circle. 2 on, 1 away, 1-1 count to Picketts. Offering from Mayorga goes upstairs. 2-1 the count, and the catcher not happy with Picketts because he kind of ducked, even though that ball looked low. And it may have given the umpire more of a reason to call that a ball.
Yeah, little league ball right there.
2-1 here to Picketts. Mayorga offers, shaken runs on the bunt attempt, but it's fouled off.
A suicide squeeze attempt.
It
right
really
there.
was, and if he missed, Shaken would have done his best Jacoby Ellsbury impression to try to steal home, but instead it's 2-2 now to Will Picketts. So we've been talking a lot about this date in baseball, and this date in baseball just became a lot more interesting in terms of the record books. Mayorga deals the 2-2 to Picketts, popped up, but out of play it looks like. Indeed it is. Count remains 2-2. The baseball history books just updated as Mark Reynolds became the 15th player in the history of the MLB to have a 10 RBI game. And what was it, 18-4 the score?
Last I checked, yeah.
The Nationals were up in the 8th inning. We've been talking a lot about this date in baseball. Well, this date in baseball just became historical. That is July 7th, 2018. Picketts, high, deep, carrying to the left field wall, and it's caught by Zhang. Wow, what a catch. Coming in, though, and tagging from third safely is Sam Shaken. Sacrifice fly, though I think Picketts will want that home run if he could. The Oaks up 10-6 now. Everybody thought that was a home run, the entire Oaks bench. Coming up, ring cover, though, didn't apparently, but everybody else did.
Now batting, number 27, Michael Tillman.
just missing one there. And that might be the most excited the Oaks have been over a sacrifice fly in their whole life.
Over at second, remaining there is Tyler Ryan. And that is an earned run to put the Oaks up by 4 now. Insurance run very necessary here as Michael Tillman takes that low and away for ball 1. I was very sure that was a home run, and half the Oaks bench did too. Nick Ringcover looked at me and just shook his head. But he likes to give me flack sometimes, so I don't mind. Oregon now checking the runner, 1-0 offering, swinging a miss by Tillman, evens the count. Tillman's 0 for 1, a fly out to center back in the 8th inning. He came in as a pinch hitter for Andrew Lucas, who went 0 for 1 but was hit by a pitch and also reached base by way of a walk. If Tillman can find a way to get on, then all 10 of the Oaks batters who have come up to the plate would have reached base. 1-1 offering, fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Tillman. Myra offers the 1-2. Big swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. And just like that, top frame of the 9th is over. 2 strikeouts for Mayorga. But that's it. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. 1 left on base. The Oaks add an insurance run. 10-6 the score. Nick Ringcover will stride back to the mound and try to close out this game in the bottom of the 9th after this on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Three more outs will give the Oaks their 5th consecutive win in the CCL and put them in a comfortable 2.5 game lead in the 4th and final playoff spot over the Catch. But they still have to get those 3 outs in a 4-run ball game. Anything can happen. Nick Ringcover back out for his 3rd inning of work. Jake Boone stepping up into the plate for his 5th opportunity at bat. First pitch, though, a strike over the heart of the plate taken. On the day for Jake Boone in the 3 spot. 1 for 4. Strikeout, 2 flyouts, and a single. Scored the lone run in the 5th for the Catch. Ringcover quickly dealing the 0-1. Off speeder. Lightly grounded to 3rd, but goes foul. 0-2 now the count. 10 runs, 12 hits, and an error for the Oaks. 6 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the SoCal Catch. By the way, new catcher into the game for the Oaks. From Pierce Junior College, headed to Sonoma State in the fall, is Bryce Vitt. Comes in place of Drew Sims, who was pinch hit for by Tanner Wright back in the top half of the inning. 0-2 now the count to Boone. 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for the Catch, which means the most dangerous part of the order. Daniel Rajong waiting on deck. He's 1 for 3. Jacob Rogers in the hole. Ringcover offers the 0-2. Fastball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Doubleheader tomorrow, a day off on Monday, and then 2 home games on Tuesday and Wednesday. are the next 4 games for the Oaks. With the way that this team is playing, looks like they can beat just about anybody, but the test of the season will be on Tuesday against the Foresters. 1-2 pitch, runs upstairs and evens the count. But tomorrow, not going to be easy. The Barons are playing well. They walked off yesterday. And they're also in contention for the playoffs. 2-2. Cracked down the third baseline, though, off the foot of Boone. Goes foul, and we'll do it again. Looking at the CCL standings now as they stand, the Oaks are 2 full games up over the Catch for the 4th and final playoff spot. Only a game and a half back of the Prune Packers for the 3rd spot. That one hopper over to 3rd. Lewis to McFarland, out number 1 now, in the bottom of the 9th inning. Going back to the standings, though, the Riptide are in the 2nd spot. The Oaks are 2.5 games behind them, a game and a half out of the 3 spot. If they hold on to this win, they'll be 2 full games ahead of the Catch in the 4th and final playoff spot. And currently the Oaks are 2 full games ahead of the Arroyo Seco Saints and 2.5 games ahead of the Academy Barons. Shows how close this playoff race is. The first pitch to Daniel Jung bounces in the dirt. But a win today would really help the Oaks, especially because they are hosting the CCL playoffs. 1-0 offering. Popped up. Shallow left field. 3 Oaks players running to it. And nobody can get to it. That ball drops, just eluding the glove of Michael Spears, and that'll be a double for Daniel Jung. We've seen a lot of bloop doubles in this game. One for Brandon Lewis, one from Omar Ortiz, and this one by Daniel Jung.
Number 20, Jacob Rogers.
First hit given up by Nick Ringcover, puts a runner in scoring position in a 10-6 ball game with 1 away, and Jacob Rogers coming to bat. He's 1 for 3, a double, a run scored, a sac fly, resulting in an RBI in the 5th, and 2 flyouts in the 2nd and the 7th. Lefty on righty matchup here. Ringcover just gave up his first hit of the ball game. Toes the rubber and checks Jung at 2nd. Offers pitch, a strike over the heart of the plate taken. 0-1 the count.
And even though it is a 4-run lead, I am almost positive Ringcover will be awarded the save if he gets out of this.
He did come in when the Oaks were up by 3, so he would be given the 2-inning save. 0-1 pitch is low. Evens the count. So the final line, if the Oaks pull off this game, would be Friedman with the win, Matt Reitz with the loss, and Nick Ringcover with his first save of the season. Toes the rubber. Checks Jung at 2nd. Pearson fires the 1-1. Taken over the heart of the plate, belt high, strike 2. Rogers thought about pulling the trigger, held back, and instead of the result he wanted, he's behind in the count now. Sun really disappearing now behind the hills. Final wisps of daylight here. And they don't want this game called due to darkness. I don't think it will be. Ringcover checks the runner at 2nd. Kicks and fires the 1-2. Fouled off the foot of Rogers. That one's got to hurt, but he shakes it off and will do it again.
Not quite the swing and miss action that Ringcover was getting when he was up in San Luis Obispo, but still effective nonetheless.
Ten runs, 12 hits, an error for the Oaks. 6 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors for the Catch. The difference, the Oaks have had multiple extra base hits. The Catch only 2. Most of their hits have been by way of singles. Ringcover once again comes set. 1-2 pitch. Skied over to 2nd base. And on the dirt. Pickett's is under it for out number 2. Jung stays put at 2nd base, and the Oaks are 1 out away from taking the season series against the Catch 3-1. The man they have to get out, though, Omar Ortiz, is 2 for 4 today with a single in the 2nd and a run scored, a strikeout in the 4th, a ground out in the 5th, and a single in the 7th. And he'll try to keep this game alive for the Catch with 2 outs and a runner on, down by 4. Ring cover. Taking his time, gloves the ball and twirls it, checks the runner briefly and offers the first pitch. Missing inside for ball one. The Oaks came into the season with a lot of uncertainty on their bullpen, but I think so far this team has really come together and they've proven it here in a great effort. If Ring cover finishes this game out, only 3 arms would have been used. He deals the 1-0. Off speed, swung and missed, evens the count. Nice one right there. Completely eluded the bat of Ortiz to even the count.
What a nasty pitch from Ring cover. Started the curveball belt high. Started the swing, but it was a little bit too late because the ball was bounced in the dirt.
He's taking his time, trying to methodically work his way through Ortiz and finish up this ball game. Deals the 1-1, a strike at the knees, and just like that, 1 strike away from this game being over. 10-6 the score, runner on second. Daniel Jung got on with 1 out. And the catch may strand him out there. We'll see. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ring cover comes set out the belt. Pearson fires the 1-2. Missing outside to even the count now, 2-2. The Oaks bench very vocal, trying to urge their pitcher to throw a strike and end this ball game. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Runner on second. Ring cover offers. And a foul ball keeps this game alive. Count remains the same though, 2-2. Ortiz fighting to stay alive here. It's been a fun ball game. A long ball game, though not as long as yesterday. 3 hours and 2 minutes in. Yesterday was 3 hours and 20 minutes. Temperature now in the low 80s with a nice cool breeze. 2-2 the count, 2 away once again. Ring cover finally comes set at the belt. Pearson fires the 2-2. Called strike 3 at the knees, and this game is over. Nick Ring cover. Mama, there goes that man. 10-6, the Oaks win it. Final line for you, 10 runs, 12 hits, 1 error, 6 left on base for the Oaks. For the catch, 6 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors. They leave 6, actually now 7 on base. The final time, 3 hours and 3 minutes. Winning pitcher, Justin Friedman picks up his 2nd win of the season. He's now 2-1. Nick Ringcover picks up his first save. He's now 1 for 1 in that category. And Matt Reach drops to 1-1 on the season. He gets his first loss. Jordan, it was a great game for the Oaks. The catch actually showed a lot of fight after trailing by 6 runs early. What did the catch do to come back, and how did the Oaks maintain the lead and finally pull it out in the end?
Well, the Oaks didn't have their best stuff on the mound today. Luckily, they had that 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning where they put up 8 runs total, and they got out of it. But the catch continued to give good at-bats even when they were down by a lot, and they took a page from the Oaks book, and they came back and made this one interesting. Luckily for the Oaks, though, they had enough to take the win here today, and it was a big day for the Oaks. Remember, the first game they came out on top in the extra inning contest. Now they take the 2nd game today, and they are riding really high now, all the momentum in the world.
Well, we're going to leave it there. Head over to Twitter in about 2 or 3 minutes. Jordan will be on the field with our Oaks player of the game, Jordan McFarland. He had 2 big hits for 2 RBIs. And he will be occupying our Twitter feed in a couple of minutes. But once again, the Oaks win 10-6. The Oaks will play tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the first game of a doubleheader against the Academy Barons. Second game tentatively at 1 o'clock. But until then, we're going to sign off. For everybody who made our broadcast possible, big thank you to the SoCal Catch for accommodating us on such a hot and blissful day, I guess you could say. Blistering windy day, but a blissful day for the Oaks, if you will. Jordan Brenner, my broadcasting partner in crime, and our entire Oaks crew. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, signing off. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 o'clock first pitch, when the Oaks play the Academy Barons. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, the Oaks win 10-6. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.